All right, my bad. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the podcast, episode 3. And I got my co-host here, Demon Prime, and we are going to talk about budgeting builds for streaming.
What up?
Oh, what's up? And we're going to talk about some other things. I got some exciting news that we're going to talk about at the end of the podcast. Also, it is giveaway day, so about hour and a half in, I'd say 12:30 Pacific Standard Time is when we are going to start doing the raffle. And then after that, we are going to talk about some exciting news that I've been working on for months, and it's finally coming to fruition, I'm going to have to say. So I'm pretty excited. And we're going to go, so we're going to do our greetings. We're going to say what's up to everybody in chat before we start focusing on our topics. Of the first one is budgeting a PC build. Dion's going to take on this one, but we got together pricing. He's going to explain the importance of each item, and then we're going to go through very cheapest budget that we recommend to mid-tier to good tier, and then we're actually gonna look at Demon's build, and we're gonna see what that build looks like. And I'll be honest, my build's nothing to brag about, but Demon's the pro in this one. But when it comes to that, that's him. And then we're going to dive into microphones. XLR microphones is where we're going to start off with, which that is my area, and interfaces. And then we're going to go into USB microphones, which that again is Demon's. And then we're going to touch base on some headsets. So everybody, I want to welcome Ecstasy. Thank you so much. Ecstasy is the mod, and she's part of the podcast team. Same with Invalid. I don't know if Invalid's here, but if she is, hello. Want to say welcome to Shadowing. We got 92 in the house. Let's see who else. We got the Zulish. What's up, Zulish? How are you doing? And yeah, just welcome everybody in. So we're gonna go ahead and just get started. And I would like to greet our co-host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the ever so exciting Demon.
Yeah.
Okay, Demon Prime. All right, all right. I can't do that. I was inspired by Steel, but he's got a perfect announcement voice. Me, I'm just like whatever. What's up, bro? All right, so Demon, how you doing, bro? How was your night?
I'm doing great. My night last night was good. It was good. Worked my ass off.
Okay.
Fridays gotta grind it out. For the weekend.
Always, bro. Always.
But we're here now. It's Saturday. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm here with you. We're here with these wonderful people. There she is. DJ
Invalid. Hello. Welcome in our lovely mod again. Hello.
Oh yeah, man. My night was great. I know you had a interesting night.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that at the end of the stream, bro. I'm excited, but yes, I stayed up until 2 a.m. And just to give a hint, my garage smells like I lit up a campfire. I smell like I just got done camping for 6 days. So if anybody can take that hint of what we're going to be talking about at the very end of the stream. But yeah, it's 2 a.m, but it was worth it, man. It was worth it. Obviously the podcast is always worth coming over, so I'm always excited. So now let's talk about builds, D. A lot of people overlook that and they go very, very, very cheap. I do want to stress that I know our budget books we have our cap and we have our budget, but we got to keep in mind the budget of these parts is relative to what these parts offer in the spectrum of how expensive parts can get. So budget on equipment versus budget in our bank are two different things, in my opinion, and we're going to try to go over that to help others have a really good sense of balance of understanding that.
Right. And, when it comes to streaming, for the most part, I mean, obviously you can stream off of consoles nowadays and this, that, and the other. You can do pretty decent. Most people start on streaming on consoles. But once you decide to make that leap and push up to a computer, whether you're just going to capture a console or, rock with just the computer as your gaming and streaming setup, the computer comes first. Computer has to come first. You can't do anything without one. So none of these builds, as they sit, besides mine, we're gonna look at mine later. None of the builds that I've created, they don't have any peripherals involved.
Like no fans, no monitors, no keyboards, mouse.
Cooling, whatever fans that the case comes with, depending on the case you pick.
Right.
And that's really about it. So you're gonna have to get a keyboard, a mouse, a microphone, a camera, whatever else you need to make that setup complete. At the end, obviously, that comes later though. You have to get them. Excuse me. You have to get the main component first, which is the computer. So that's what we're going to look at today, and then
we're gonna go over main components. Right.
Yeah, and then we're going to go a little more in depth with my build because I added, all the drives that I have, this, that, and the other. So there's a little more.
Now, just to FYI, if anyone's interested in my build, me and Dion's build is fairly close, but variation-wise, though I think the one thing that differs is I'm still running off a 500 gigabyte SD hard drive.
Your CPU is newer than mine.
Yeah, so and my CPU is a bit newer, but that doesn't mean it's better. And Dion's gonna go over that. And his graphics card is bigger or better. I would say better than mine, but we're gonna talk about the uses of why we use these big graphics cards. Yes, in a sense. But there is a disclaimer. There is a disclaimer on this. No matter how big your build is and how badass your build is, please focus on your internet. Know your internet and know what your capabilities are, because you can have the biggest, baddest computer, but if your upload download speed, more so upload speed is lacking, you're gonna have to adjust. You're gonna have to adjust your settings based on your upload download speed. So just remember that, and we're gonna dive right in, and we are gonna go to our screen. So this is the first budgetary build that Demon put together, and I'm actually learning as I go as well, because I was kind of spoiled. Me and Demon was talking about it. My cousin owed me some money, and he had a decent build a few years ago, and he gave it to me, and I didn't know crap, so I was kind of handed down I guess his hard work, right? I was handed down his hard work, and I had to learn as things broke, as I upgraded things. That's how I learned. So this is a very good learning experience for me. So people that want to transition into builds or want to rebuild their computer or just newly into streaming and want to know what's the best to save them money, we're going to try to help you out and just go over those cool things. So Demon, let's go down the list. I got the same window up as you, and we can dive right into it.
All right. So, I mean, on the first one here, we got obviously, so 2 out of the 3 builds we're going to look at today, or the 4 technically, are AMD and 2 are Intel. So mine is an Intel build, our mid-tier build is an Intel build, but our low tier and our high, just godlike tier is obviously going to be AMD, because they're running shit right now when it comes to it. So
that's what I heard.
Yes, we're going to start with the CPU. I chose the 5600X. Very good CPU, 6-core, 12 threads, Gen 4 M.2 capability, very fucking fast. These things are beast for what they actually are. I ran my original streaming PC was a 3600X, and I loved it. I had no problems with it. It was a great entry level into the world of streaming.
It doesn't look that expensive either. 148 bucks
150 bucks
on Amazon.
I think on Amazon right now it's going cheaper than the 3600 is.
Yeah, for 148.99 is Newegg.
Not bad.
Newegg and Amazon have the same price. I like Amazon because they ship quicker to me. So just
obviously,
I'm an Amazon Now guy. Like, I order it, it better be in my hands in 5 minutes.
But if you look down a couple, Best Buy has it for the same price, and you can pick it up.
Oh,
if it's in stock in your area, you can pick it up.
I will drive my ass an hour. Yes, I will. I'll buy it on the cart, and I'll drive my ass over there. I'll wait there like a dude fucking looking for unemployment. Let's go.
So obviously we have a boost clock of 4.6, very respectable. It'll do what you need it to do CPU wise to handle a decent looking stream. You're not going to be running the best games at the highest frame rates and this, that, and the other, but you will be able to put out a very, very decent stream without breaking the bank on a CPU.
It's a good start. Like, it's a good bang for your buck. Is better than going with the lesser, in your opinion, lesser CPUs, because the capabilities, yes, it's cheaper, but you're not going to get the performance that you're hoping to get. And like you said, the max performance out of this. But again, we're talking about, think about it as a business. You are going based on your budget, and you're going to be able to grow. That's what I love about PCs, is that when you buy it, a lot of people buy laptops, but they can't, once whatever they buy on that laptop when it comes to CPU, graphics, and stuff, you're stuck with that. So PC
Yeah.
is the way to go.
Yeah, I do prefer a desktop to a laptop. I mean, I have
Right.
obviously I have a gaming laptop just in case, you know,
Me too. I do.
what big time gamer doesn't at this point.
When we're on the
But
road, we need
yeah,
something on the
yeah.
go to
See,
satisfy
but
our game
in
itch.
that I sat there and I've done so much to it software wise to make it run a decent stream if I need it to. So
Right.
it is a backup. You know what I mean? And it's not top of the line anything. It's not even 30 series. It's a 20 series card in it, and I can still run a decent stream off of it, which is great.
So if you want to do like an IRL, let's just say if you guys are talking about, now this is in base in a studio, is I want to call it a studio setting. To me, laptops, if you want to do outdoors and stuff like that and want to stream and you don't want to put all that pressure on your phone, you get some Wi-Fi or sorry, what is it? Tethering into your fucking mobile hotspot. Laptops are good, but in studio, you want to stream games. It is going to put a lot more pressure onto your computer when you want to render your games, your OBS, all that stuff. So we're not talking about that, but laptops are good. You know what? I used to actually do a PC and laptop duel where the laptop was shooting out the stream pretty good. Now, I didn't know this, but my GPU, even though it was a 3060 in my my laptop, I was only able to really render 720. So
Really?
yeah, so I didn't realize that until I looked at the specs when I was looking through the MSI laptop, and I was like, wait a minute. And one person was saying it can only render 720 when you're doing editing, like when it's shooting out, like, but I can still play 1080, but when I was streaming, I could not do I just was not capable. My GPU was not able to handle streaming at 1080. So very limited. I think PCs are definitely the way to go. So now we talked about, you got any more to touch base on the CPU, or you want to go to the cooler?
No. We're just going to kind of slide through these because I mean, this is all what I picked.
Right.
You know what I mean? The basis of everything is you want a fairly newer CPU, a decent cooler, a motherboard that can handle the power, and a power supply to be able to supply it for the most part, and a graphics card, obviously.
Right.
So, like with this one, we went like really budgetary on the cooling. You see a Hyper 212. That is like the most budgetary
cooling that you can get,
but also one of the most tried and true.
So it's very reliable.
This thing's been around for, if I'm not mistaken, like 20 years. This thing they never changed anything because they don't have to. It works.
Well, it also is compatible to a lot of sockets.
Everything.
Yeah,
literally everything.
Yeah. This is the compatibility.
They've pushed it through the ages. So that's why I picked it. I started on one that was one of my favorite coolers. I still have it actually. Right. I mean, it's a great cooler. If I need to put a cooler on someone's build to test something, I have it there, ready to go all the time.
Well, the cool thing here is proof in the pudding. I'm looking at price history, and from February 15th all the way till now, the prices stayed steady, and that means that until like May, looks like Mayish and June, some drop off. I'm assuming discounts.
It fluctuates.
Yeah,
it fluctuates
but
so
it
much
stayed pretty solid.
Years, but for the most part, you can find it for like $30-$40.
Oh yeah, and when you look at a product, and this is just from my experience, when you look at a product that maintains that worth for that long of a time without fluctuation, in my opinion, that means relevancy. The performance is there, the quality is there, the customer base is there, and the manufacturers, all of them, say, hey, we'll vary in price, but we don't need to go down because everyone's still liking these, everyone's still wanting these, and that's a good sign when you're looking at products. I like the fact that Amazon or PC Part Picker is showing a price history, and so this is good. I like that.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I like it. So all right, yeah, fan.
Great cooler. So motherboards are a dime a dozen. There are so many out there. You really have to look for your needs. Most likely, I mean, it could be a 2 more USB slots could be the difference of $2 in a different brand. Right. You know what I mean? Same size, this, that, and the other. I think we went with MATX board.
We're looking at ATX AM4 motherboard. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so it is
ASRock.
an ATX. Okay, I thought I picked an MATX. No, it is a micro. It's a micro ATX. So it's this is a micro. It's not gonna have all of the PCI slots as a regular board, obviously. So you're not gonna be able to do a whole lot when it comes to expansion slots if you use them. So I use two. I use my one for my graphics card and I use one for my capture card. And that's all the expansion slots I do use. So it's like I said, motherboards. I didn't pick this specific one because it was anything special or anything like that. It had decent IO. It had, it had a slot for a graphics card, and that's really all you need at this point. In the budgetary options.
Yeah, DDR4, 64 gigabytes max. That's good with the 2 memory slots.
So the only thing with this one, because we're going 5000 series, the only thing you would have to do is possibly update the BIOS, which is very easy to do nowadays.
Right.
Some of them come pre-updated, so yeah, no, motherboards are a dime a dozen. It just comes down to like what you want for features, and features are a whole different story. When it comes down to it,
it has a decent amount of USBs. So you got two 2.0 headers, you got a 3.2 header. It's not the best because the newer, obviously the more upgraded motherboards
have internal headers.
Yeah,
those are internal headers. So that's about right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Has two of each. So, but like this one doesn't have USB-C, a USB-C header.
Thunderbolt, it doesn't have all that stuff.
Well, Thunderbolt's Intel.
I didn't know that. There you go.
There you go.
I like Thunderbolt, so I guess I'll stick with Intel.
When we go on to the memory, like it's the same thing with the memory. The reason I picked Team Group for the memory is because it is a very easy brand to get a hold of. They're cheap, but they work.
$33, $34 on Amazon
for 16 gigs dual channel, and you're rocking.
Yeah, 16 gigs. You can get started. You started right away. Yeah, 16 gigs.
What I started out with.
Fucking. Now, when you want to start doing some crazy shit, then you might want to start thinking about it.
You might want to bump that up.
But you can start. That's the biggest thing.
We're gonna see that bump. We're gonna see that bump in the next build. Anyway.
Yeah. So you want to move on, or you want to talk a little bit more?
No.
Okay,
RAM,
let's roll.
Like I said, RAM is like exactly. You want to make sure, especially with AMD, if you are going to pick an AMD, I would suggest 3600 megs. That's a 3200 megahertz kit. I just clicked one. I would suggest 36. AMD likes 3600.
Okay.
A little more. Doesn't matter if you just get a dual channel 3600 kit. If you can keep some heat spreaders on it and they're not rare, bare PCBs, that's even better. Right. But they will work. It will work.
Okay.
So when it comes to the graphics card, it's another thing. So graphics cards in this day and age, we all know how that's going. It's not going very well. So I went like back of the board. I went way back. So I chose a RX 580. They're still prominent card. They're still selling them brand new. So that
they're still making them.
139. Yeah, that 139 is brand new at Best Buy, as you can see.
So this is an AMD, right? The XFT GTR, that Radeon.
That's an AMD. It's an RX 580 8 gig.
Okay.
So they make a 4 gig version of this card, and it's crap. The 8 gig is where you want to be if you are just starting out. This is just a start out PC. You gotta remember that. So there's a 1660 Super. I have one. I have a couple of them. I would not suggest it, because if you spend, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like $20 more, you can get a 3060.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy how the price is
really
so close together for the upgrade, and it's like,
realistically, this card should be like $100.
It's like, what?
This RX 580 should be maybe $100.
Right.
But 139, not bad. Save your pennies, and maybe your birthday's coming up, you get that extra $100, then you can go up. You can go way up. 30, 60, this, that, and the other. So I almost actually picked a 3060 for this build. It was a $249 3060.
Oh god, they're so affordable now. In respect to what happened,
which isn't bad. So
the inflation was horrible a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it was definitely a good deal for a decent entry level graphics card.
Right. This looks, my opinion, total build is $571. Granted, there is no fans. There's a few things missing,
So
but this
if
is a
I'm not
good
mistaken,
chunk.
that Salmon TC, the ATX case, the next thing on our list, I do
Yo,
believe it comes with a couple of fans.
normally a lot of them do, right? So
I do
it's
believe it comes with a couple of fans, so you're not going to be, as long as you have some intake and some out, some exhaust.
right,
For the most part, like the 5600X isn't going to put out a bunch of heat, so
right.
it's going to be controllable. Maybe add some fans down the line. I know that cooler that the cooler comes with one fan on the one side,
Okay.
but it also comes with a second bracket, so you can do a push pull. So you can
Ah,
buy another fan for it and do a push pull configuration on that
right.
cooler, which would in turn make your cooling better. So
Yeah, this looks
cases
like a cool case.
cases are a dime a dozen too. Like I just kind of threw one in there that was about 50-60 bucks. I know you can find cases all day long. You can find the
Right.
like the H510 by NZXT. You can find those for like 60 bucks on sale half the time. 60,
Yeah.
70 bucks. So cases are what you want, what you're willing to spend. If you want the little more bells and whistles and this, that, and the other, you're gonna have to spend a little more money.
Oh, absolutely.
It just is what it is at that
And
point.
keep in mind the size of things you're buying, because if you want to
Yes.
get a bigger graphics card like a 30 series, depending, I don't know how big this T6 is, so just don't buy a
Yeah.
part thinking that everything
Yeah,
fits
don't
in the
buy
same case.
a triple fan.
Yeah,
graphic card
don't buy
and
a
expect it to
240
fit in an
fan if
ITX
you
case.
can't fit a 240 millimeter fan. So just
Right.
it's one of those things. So if you're new to this and you think that this, I mean, if you're new to this and go, oh, I thought there was an assumption that everything was relatively the same. So when I
No.
started buying parts, I started realizing like my case is just too encumbered. What the fudge?
Oh, right. Oh,
So
yeah. And then
yeah.
like especially when you get into ITX builds, like everything gets even worse because sometimes stuff fits by like millimeters.
right.
Millimeters. Like certain things in my build, like the build I built for my fiance, it's an ITX 5600X actually with a 1660 Super in it.
Right.
And great build, amazing, does whatever I need it to do for her and her needs, but everything is so tight in that case. And it's a bigger ITX case to begin with, and everything is so tight. Okay, so going on, this is power supply. What did I pick? The Corsair.
You
power
got the
supply,
Corsair
right?
550, which
550,
please,
okay.
this is so important that you
So this
make sure you
is,
have
if
enough
I'm
power.
if I'm not mistaken, this is a bronze certified.
Yep, 80 plus
At
bronze.
least, yeah, 80 plus bronze. So that 80 plus bronze certification, that is efficiency. That is, so the higher you go up in that certification, the more efficient your computer is going to be pulling power from the wall wise.
Right.
So the higher you go, the lower your electric bill is, basically. So if you're getting a platinum power supply,
Low power bill. Low
Exactly.
power bill.
exactly.
And low heat.
But-
No more heat.
Low heat,
No
yeah.
more
So
heat.
There's some better parts and everything else in between. This is a fan unit. It's not anything special. It's not modular. It's, if I'm not mistaken, no, it's not. So yeah, it's got, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're all black sleeved cables. Scroll up a little bit for me.
There's
I'm pretty
not
sure,
that
yeah,
many. Looks like
they're
it's
black sleeved.
Looks
so
like
they're
there's a
black
sleeve.
sleeved cables, but they are
Ooh.
mustard colors. Yeah,
I
they are.
love it.
So you're gonna get that ketchup and mustard look just a little bit. If you do some sly, cable management, you might be able to hide it pretty easy.
Or you just put a
some,
shitload of RGBs and make the colors pop. I don't know. I'm
There you
I'm
go.
just
There
I'm
you
just shooting shit. Like
This guy.
RGB.
All right, so that build is what did that build come out to? That build came out to
571.
571 after $20 mail-in rebate.
Yep, after $20. So basically $600. If the fan comes in the case, then you save there. And this is just the PC itself. Now, when it comes to monitors and keyboards and stuff, I'll be honest. Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes, my monitors itself. I do work I do work at my job, so I look at drawings, structural set of drawings. I have a lot of applications up. I do a lot of media stuff. I have a lot of things, so I had to choose, not just for streaming, but I had to choose really good monitors. In both my monitors, I invested quite a bit of money because it's useful for me. They were about $450 a pop, and I got two of them. But it was not because I wanted to flex. It's because I needed something that was great in detail. I needed something that was proven product, and I needed it big enough so when I pull up my structural set of drawings and I'm running these things that has a high level of detail, I needed a screen that has multiple types of settings. So, but yeah, screens can go wacko, but you don't need the latest and greatest.
Right. So
you don't need the latest and greatest.
I have two screens, and in between the two, it's probably about $700 worth of screens. And I have one 1080p, one 1440. 1440 is obviously my gaming main screen, and then I have my overkill 1080 screen up top. Mine is, at one point, it was the fastest 1080p monitor in the world. It's a 280 hertz 1080p monitor.
That's important for shooters.
Oh yeah,
that's important for shooters.
Definitely helped. It definitely helped. I'm not even gonna lie. It's insane.
All right, so we're going to the next build. This one's gonna be an Intel.
Yeah, this is our mid tier.
There we go. This is an Intel mid tier. I'm liking this. I like seeing some of this stuff where I'm like, ooh,
yes,
let's go.
Yes. Okay, so this build jumped quite a bit because keep in mind,
Jesus, bro, 1600. You go from hot to hot, you cold to hot real quick, bro. 600 to freaking $1,700.
I tried to keep it low.
Okay,
I tried to keep it low, but this I kind of also, because of the parts and
looks like good quality shit.
We're going in the price of the graphics card is going to kind of fluctuate a little bit because there's a couple of different options for that.
Okay.
All right. So
I see that you have an 8 gig on there, so there is options for 12 gigs. So you did go kind of a mid-budgetary because you went 8 gig memory on that.
I also went with a TI, so they're overclocked. So you got to remember that. So we start with a 1300 or 13700K. The 700 series, i7 700 series, has always been, well, it's hard to keep a build in general, but the 13700, it's always a great series. It's or the 700 series, I should say. The 10700, the 11700, they were all great mid-tier gaming CPUs. They do great when it comes to gaming. They do great when it comes to streaming. They can hold their own. I mean, this is a new one too. So this is a 13700. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 16-core processor. This thing, this specific CPU has more cores than I do. Right now, and I have a 900 series. You know what I mean? So I have an i9, and it has more cores than I do. So it's going to handle everything with ease. It's going to handle your streaming, your rendering, everything that a CPU might need to do. It's going to handle it no problem.
I like it.
So you're going to have that power behind it. Also we could do, AMD side, we can do a 5950 or 5800X, something like that, and still be around that, maybe a little cheaper actually on the price of the CPU, because I know that this it's a bit pricey.
Can we go i7 10th gen or 11th gen with this?
Easy.
So you don't need gotcha.
Yeah, the builds I made are more current.
Oh, okay. Like these are the newer, the newer versions.
So you can keep some. Well, what I wanted to talk about is upgradability.
Right.
So instead of, if you go too far back, instead of just being able to buy certain parts to upgrade your, you can upgrade if you get this 13700, say you get a cheaper motherboard, you can upgrade that motherboard down the line and get a really sick one. Right. When you can afford it. But this is that mid-tier build. This is someone who makes decent money, has some money in the bank, has a budget, and goes out and buys just a bit more than enough to do, or quite a bit more, really,
Right.
to do what they want to do with it. So that's why I picked the parts that I did. We could have did $1,000 build realistically, and I can do $1,000 build just by changing 3 things on this list.
That's what the beauty of these lists are, is that you can go, oh, I really like that. You research it and go, well, I really don't want that. I can get this. And based on reviews and stats and, you know, data and all that stuff. But this is, I'll be honest, the 1684 is something I'm more used to seeing. The 571, I'm like, I'm going to buy that. You know, like,
right.
I'm just going to buy it.
Like,
use
I
it.
could do
Yeah.
that just to mess with it. Like, yeah.
The 1684, I'm kind of like, let me go ask the wife. Let me go check my bank. Let me see how much overtime hours I can work a little bit. But this is, I'm used to seeing this. This is what I'm used to seeing, is this price range.
So this is maybe a year of streaming, making some money, you know, making affiliate, making a little money and putting it aside.
And then invest into yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I did. I said at the beginning, since the very beginning, all proceeds that come from this stream are going to go right back into it.
Right.
And they have, you know, if you look around my desk, all of the stuff that I have added to my stream in the last couple of years has come from streaming.
That's what's kind of awesome about streaming, is that when you do make a little money and you save it up, like, get a stream deck, you'll get this, you'll get a NVMe dot 2, you get a new case. Like, within a year, if you're able to make some money, you know, if you're able to make some money on your content, you can actually use that.
You can get to this point where you can go from that mid-tier, that low tier build to this mid-tier build.
And this is not a bad build. This is like 2 years ago, this would have been like $2,500 because of the inflations. And this is, this is a nice build. I like this build. My daughter's birthday's coming up. She's like, Dad, I might want a gamer PC.
I'll help you. I'll help you out. And we can change it up a little bit, and I can help you out.
Yeah, so, I like that. Like, I need to get an NVMe. That's one thing I need to get.
A little crazy. So I did. But I didn't also. So
we're still on the budgetary, or we're still on the budgetary. Okay.
This is the
second one.
Okay. Yeah. So I went with the X63 Kraken cooler. It's an NZXT cooler. They're very good coolers. They're probably some of the best on the line right now, especially for Intel, because Intel obviously runs a little hotter than AMD. Well, not lately, but you know what I mean. So they do run hot. So you're gonna want an AIO over air
like
cooler.
A fan cooler, like a little fan cooler. Yep.
Because you're gonna be pumping out a lot more heat. You got 16 cores versus 6 cores, so we jumped up quite a bit. And like I said, the 5800 I think is a 12 core processor or something like that. So like there's always that mid in between, but we're jumping up pretty high. So this is going to work great. The X73 is a lot more expensive. I mean, this is that's $150. But
you got to cool it. You got to keep it. You got to keep that baby cool.
Yeah,
it's important.
If it gets hot, it starts to throttle. Then you have performance issues, and nobody wants that. So that's why, you know, and you can find a decent cooler of this size, of this spec, for $100.
You look nice too.
But like these look nice.
That cooler that has that that digital thing. My nephew has one of these, and I installed it, right? And he was like, "Oh, Uncle, it's not as good as yours." And I was like, "Well, you know, I don't know much about it. Corsair was it had a 360, and I needed one. I liked it. It was at Best Buy, so I was like, look, I'm gonna get it." But I plugged his in, and you're able to like turn that little knob so that way it's upright. The way it looked like 3D, and I was like, "Bro, why do I want this?" He was like, "You want to trade?" I was like, "No." But why do I want to look at it getting a 360 AIO for, you know, the NZXT? I just, you know, it's not broken. My Corsair does a good job, but it's not broken. It's working. So I was like, I can't bring myself to, but when it does, and part of me hopes that it does, I'm looking into getting another AIO. But performance is everything for me. And if we're trying to find things that perform well at a good price, that you're not sacrificing possibly your build, because if you get a shitty AIO, I've heard of like those off brands that will start leaking and and destroy your whole computer.
Yeah, you want to definitely buy something that's from a decent brand, that's notable, that has a decent RMA service if you do need to RMA it. And yeah, you don't want to be buying stuff from China.
Look how many
'cause
people
then
want to
you're gonna have
sell
to
this.
wait.
Look how many people are selling this too. This is a popular item. Newegg, Best Buy, GameStop, Adorama, B&H, NZXT sells it.
This is another cooler that's been around for a
Yeah,
while.
a lot of manufacturers or a lot of distributors are selling this, and that's a good thing.
It's tried and true.
Yeah,
It's tried and true. So a recent build that I did actually has one of these in it, and it's running
nice.
beautifully.
My nephew, so far, his
absolutely.
temps are good. He was like, Unc, I'm glad that my dad bought this. And my brother was like, dude, he's like, I'm glad you recommended NZXT or what's that, what's that, Corsair. I was like, those
Right.
are really the only two. I know MSI has one, I know Asus has one, but I was like, those are the only ones I know that either a buddy of mine has or I have. I was like, so I can
Right.
only speak on like experience. But they're loving it. They're loving it.
I did. Thank you, X. I did. Said hydrate. X told me to hydrate.
Yeah, getting them cotton lips.
All right, moving on.
Okay. All right. Let's go. So
we're
we
going
are.
to motherboard. We're going to motherboard. So
all right, Mobo.
Motherboard. I went a little. I could have went a little lower, obviously, but we want something that's going to be able to handle the power.
And handle an upgrade, maybe handle some upgrades.
An upgrade,
Yeah.
Handle stuff
at this
down
point.
the road. And so I went with the MSI Mag Tomahawk. Tomahawk series has always been sick. They're great boards. MSI has a pretty decent RMA service if they do have anything wrong with it. It's got great VRM cooling, nice heat sinks.
Right.
It's an all jet black board. It looks good. It looks clean. I think it does have a little bit of RGB on it here and there. So it's a very it's gonna make whatever you put it in look good. Case wise.
Right.
And the same thing with the memory, going on to the memory, I chose it's a dual channel kit. Again, the RAM that we decided for it.
Okay.
It's a 3600 because 13 series can run the 3600, and of course I went a little overboard again. You don't have to get RGB RAM. You don't
have to get unless you want to, but
unless
RGB
you
RAM.
want to. This is a mid-tier. We kind of have a little more freedom within our budget, obviously. So hey, I can spend that extra $20 on
the RGBs.
lights.
Yeah.
So this is still, like I said, still a dual channel kit, but it's 32 gigs instead of 16. So we moved up.
Yeah.
Pushed up that gigs a little bit so we can handle more, we can stream better and run what we need to run.
Right.
Same thing moving on to the hard drive we picked. You can obviously find a Gen 4 NVMe for cheaper than 129, but
right.
The 980 Pro, it's a 2 terabyte drive for $129. It's a fourth gen drive, so it's going to run fast as hell. And Samsung is hands down one of the best drive makers in the world right now.
I love Samsung. Don't hate me for
they
it.
have great RMR service, great software behind everything, and they just work.
A lot of distributors, so that's a good thing.
When you want something quality, you're going to want to buy, when you're doing something like a mid-tier, you look a little more into quality of things.
Right.
So, and then so when we go down to here's the part that can flip flop a little bit. So I put a Asus TUF. This is a triple fan card. It's a 3070 Ti, which I don't necessarily recommend. A 70 series Ti. If you're gonna get a Ti, go with 3080 Ti.
That's what I have. Yep, I have a 3080.
But a 3070, a 3080, a stock 3080 or stock 3070 is just fine, and you can pull off $100 off of that. That Ti, they love to charge a premium for that little Ti on the side of your shit,
right?
And you know what I mean. And they just did stuff that you can do yourself with the overclock and all that, this, that, and the other. They just did stuff that you can do yourself and probably do better.
Now this is what I like about my 3080, it is Ti, and it is a tough gaming. So it was the only one on the market at that time when I was looking for a 3080 Ti that wasn't just shutting off. There at that time there was like MSIs. There was reports that MSIs were just fucking shutting down. Let's see here. Asus was shutting down, Gigabyte was shutting down, and then there was the new up and coming at that time. It started with the V, Vertec or Vortec. Oh god, it's a newer like brand that's coming out, but that was shutting down. The only one that out of like a crap load of reviews, the only one that wasn't shutting down was the Tough Gaming. So given my lack of experience, I just went with the reviews and go, you know what, I have not seen reports, and so far it hasn't died out on me yet. Yay!
Hey, there you go.
But it was also almost 2000 at that time, so I'm like, it better not fucking die out.
Right.
Oh, that hurt the pocket, bro.
509.99.
Yeah, when I see that, I'm like, what?
It's decent. What? It's decent. I still, like I said, 3070s. I have my own things with 3070 Ti's. It's a whole thing. We're not gonna get into it. But moving on, like I said, when it comes down to it, you can take $100 off of that very easily by just choosing an AMD option. You know, the 6700 XT, something like that. I think it's like $429, and it's it's up there. You're not gonna get the NVIDIA stuff that you're gonna get with a 30 series card. You're not gonna get noise suppression, this, that, and the other.
Right.
But you're gonna get those great frame rates and. Actually, I think they do have some kind of noise suppression or something now. The AMD cards do.
Do you think the 8 gigabyte, even at this budget, do you think the 8 gigabyte, even with streaming and all that stuff in gaming? Okay, all right.
It's because it's DDR6X, so it's gonna run a lot better.
What does that mean? The DDR6X, like in specific to performance?
It's RAM.
Okay.
This particular 1300 series, this could be a lot more expensive.
Right.
Very easily, because if you look at the motherboard, this is a 13 series, or 13th gen, excuse me. It's a DDR4 motherboard. 13th gen can also run DDR5. But you would have to get a different motherboard that's going to be more expensive, and different RAM that's going to be more expensive.
But you can do it. This is mid-grade stuff, and you can get it going.
Performance that you would get off of those two things versus a DDR4 and DDR4 RAM is way more exponential than what you're running in this build. So when it comes down to DDR6, it's the same. It's same basic concept as the RAM you put in your computer to handle your file dumps, this, that, and the other. It's handling the same stuff, just on the video encoding side of it. So DDR6 graphics cards are actually more advanced than the computers we put them in at this moment, because they're using DDR6 and we're just getting to DDR5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you still got we're still not even there, people. We still got
a lot of performance on the table.
And this is still like lower budgetary, like we call it mid-grade, but this is more of a lower tier. Given
you're taking some performance hits by going DDR4, cheaper DDR4 and a cheaper RAM, but
it'll do the job. And do it good.
It'll do the damn thing.
Yep.
It'll do the damn thing. So the case, I went with a
cases.
A newer case that just came out recently. This is the H9 Flow ATX. So I have the H210, the regular H210 without the all the bells and whistles that it has now.
So pretty.
Yes, it looks very similar to a Lian Li 011 Dynamic. But it's got a lot more airflow. It's a big case. This is a big case.
You put the cables in the back. I love it when you put the cables in the back, and it just fits.
It's a big boy case.
Power supply goes in the back. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Goes in the back. It's as you can see that finished build. There are wires connected to everywhere. I can see them all connected except fan connections. But
that looks
cable
clean.
management in this case is going to be a dream.
That graphics card looks sweet.
That's a FE. That looks like a 3090 FE.
I like the way the cords are coming out. That is so sick.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
So beautiful case, newer case. It's gonna fit everything that we have on our list here.
159.
And then some. You know,
And then
so
some.
again, with this case, we're running an ATX board, but with this case, you can easily pull $70 off that price tag and find something that's still going to be comparable.
Looks
to
big
you.
enough for water cooled, like these type of ones. Like you
Oh
run
yeah,
water tubes and
oh
all that stuff. Definitely
yeah.
big
I
enough.
mean,
So if you want to go
if you look at the
water cooled,
finished build, it has an
yeah,
AIO. So yeah, you can easily do water cooling. There are brackets, there are mounting points for pumps and everything in this particular case. So you could easily do a full water cool build, go ham, and do. You could use this case for our high tier build
right.
and go absolutely nuts.
And you're basically at this point you're upgrading from the previous, but you're investing into room, and you're
Right.
investing into the ability to start upgrading. Because at this point, if you're streaming and you're like, I can get a $1,600 computer, or it's worth investing in, then that means either one, you're starting to have a big passion for what you're doing, and whether you're making money or not, if you have a good passion, it's worth, and shit, some passions for me, I spend a lot of money on hobbies.
Yeah.
Or if it's a
Yeah, that'll
career
happen.
thing, yeah, and you're feeling like I want to jump to the next step, you're at this mid-grade build, it looks like you're giving yourself a lot more headroom to start growing even further if you decide to keep on going. So this is
Right.
a good one. Yes.
Oh yeah, great case. Like I said, you can easily pull $70 off that price tag and find something that'll still work. Again, we go back to power supply, the most important part of every build. We did choose a gold certification on this power supply.
Mhm.
Corsair has an amazing RMA, um, amazing RMAs. They're really quick and easy about most of their stuff, especially if you like buy it from Best Buy and it goes bad. Take
Right.
it back. They'll take it back, no problem. You know what I mean? So Corsair's tried and true. They are a big brand in the computer industry. They've been around the block. They're not going to
Yeah.
put something out that's going to do anything wrong. This is a fully modular power supply too, so you don't have to have a bunch of extra wires. This
can
is an
take it out.
850. Yeah, this is an 850 watt.
Yeah. So 850 watt. Let's go to 1,000 watt. This is the 1,000 watt, and you're looking at just shy under $200. So
Just under
after
200.
tax, you're going to be at $200. So this would be the 1,000 watt. I run that, and I'll be honest,
So do
it's super overkill. But in the event I want to upgrade, I don't have to worry about power.
Yeah,
That's one thing I don't ever want to worry
Mine
about.
isn't, because I run an Intel, a very power hungry Intel build. So
Right.
I'm getting close to that. So I wanted the headspace, because you have to remember, even in this one, if we go back to the main, I think the estimated power wattage was 667. So we could have went with a 700, 750 power supply just as well. But you have to remember, you have to power your fans, you have to power any
Right.
lights you put in it, you have to power your hard drives. So that stuff, it does
Yep.
take very minute power, but you want to have a headspace. You want to have a headspace just in case you have a spike. If your graphics card
Right.
decides to ignore its power limits for some reason, because we've seen it happen. I've seen it happen on my own build where my graphics card's like, nah, fuck that. 350 watts, eat a dick. Like, I'm going to 4. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
And that's important
So-
too as you're building. And I realized that as I was rebuilding my last one, or the one I have now, is rebuilding it, and I keep seeing as I was building like estimated wattage, and I think mine was estimated wattage was 750 to 800. So I was like, you know what, I could get an
Yep.
850, but an extra 50 watts. I was like, I'm gonna push to 1,000 just
enough
in case
headroom.
just in case I want to, just in case it does something.
Yeah, any decent computer builder will tell you to go to
Right.
1,000. But this particular build, 660,
Right.
you're fine at 850. That's
All right, yo. I don't mean to cut you off, but it is
You
break
gotta pay.
time.
He's old.
I
he's gonna pay. He's
I,
old.
I gotta pee.
No.
But now we can either go to break, or this would be a good time for Dion to open the floor. Let's open the floor while we do this little break to keep everyone entertained.
I'll shoot the shit with chat. Go pee,
Yeah,
old
just
man.
go ahead, do your thing. If you have any questions for Dion, because I was seeing some pretty good comments, and obviously everyone has their own knowledge and opinion and professional opinions on this one. Go ahead, yeah. Any questions, and I will be right back. Here, let me Yeah.
Biggest thing, yeah. So Samurai said it. Biggest thing to forget about power is dirty power and power spike. Yeah. No, like dirty power is a thing, and that's why we want to push better certification on your power supply. You don't want to do a 80 plus white if you're running this system because it's just not going to work correctly. It really isn't. And yes, this build is a little hot, a little hot. Gotta get a little hot boy in the mid tier, right? Gotta have something nice. I didn't RGB the world yet. But yeah, any questions, comments, concerns? Tech, I think I saw something about what's wrong with the 3070. Ooh, Zulish is going 4060 or 4070 for his next card. I like it. It's basically a 3080 for like $100 more. Doesn't make any sense. That's what's wrong with it. Being lazy about you can't be lazy about cable management, Samurai. You really can't. All right, power coming into the house is AC and isn't consistent. This is true. This is very, very true. That's why we have always connected your computer to at least a surge protector. But if you can, an IPS always works too, because then you have some time to save yourself if you're in the middle of the game. Power outages happen, people. They do. Get rid of some of this shit on my screen here. There we go. Waiting on the old man to get back. Minimum surge protectors, but APC makes nice battery backups. Yes, battery backups are the way to go. I currently do not have one. I know. Come on, Grandpa. Yeah, and a big thing that a lot of people don't realize is don't plug two surge protectors into the same plug. Don't plug two extension cords into the same plug. You don't want to run a bunch of power off of one plug. Split it up. Get power, power strips with longer cords if you have to. You can run them nicely. It doesn't have to be all over the place. It doesn't have to be, yeah. Do not do that. For the love of Jeebus, please do not do that. He had to go get his walker. One clump. Oh my god, D, maybe give me anxiety. No. The one with tennis balls at the which is damn, not even here to defend himself. That's great. We have this as an electrical safety thing at my work, and any extension cord must have a GFCI pigtail, and we can't have more than one attached. Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about safe because they don't want any fires. You can very easily overload a socket, especially a home socket. Commercial is a little different, but home sockets are, yeah, you definitely want to be careful. Popping breakers. I mean, I actually am currently in the process of replacing all the sockets in my house because I actually had a problem. I must have kicked my power strip, and the socket that it was plugged into was pretty old, and it hit the side of the wall and it arced. And I am just glad that my computer didn't fry because of it, because that would have been bad. AFC requirements, yeah, no, oh yeah, no bueno, no bueno at all. It burnt the whole plug. I'm surprised it didn't burn the wires, but no, got it switched out. She's running good. Got a new power strip just in case, and yeah, so we're good.
All right, apologies.
He's back.
Apologies.
Grandpa's back. Did you
back.
put your walker away?
Peepaw's back.
Peepaw's back.
All right, y'all. So we are gonna be diving in now. I'm actually excited because now we're gonna get into like a little bit more of the Gucci builds. You know, this is I'm excited to see where the price is and be like, ugh, you know. But I mean, I love it. I love all this. Chat, thank you so much for stopping by. We are rocking. So we are gonna pull up the next build, which is, see here,
money does not matter build.
Okay, money does not matter. All right, the money does not matter build. Let's go. Holy jeez.
Yeah.
So are we looking at single PC streaming? Like you can run a single PC, no problem.
Just like the last two.
This is where it's at. You just got inheritance. You just won the lottery, or casino, or
we can do a 10,000 plus build easy.
You're basically saying, forget my rent or mortgage, forget my car payments, forget my electricity, really my food. I'm buying this. Let's go. We
can't do it on PC part picker, sadly, but we can easily build a 10,000.
Yeah.
This is just, keep in mind, this is $4,700 just for the computer.
Yeah, this is not all the other things that can jump it up another $3-4 grand. And we're not even into the microphones yet. And we're going to run into some budgetary stuff with microphones, but then we're going to get into the more Gucci. Yes, like you shouldn't. This is overkill. We're going to go to overkill on the microphones to this is perfect. But yeah, let's go. Let's run it. AMD Ryzen 9. Let's go.
We're starting off with the 7950 XT or the 3D because why not? We're gonna go best of the best, hardcore, like it tastes so good, make you want to smack your mama kind of stuff.
Yep, and there's a price right there, y'all. Just to know that's
$4,600 after a $30 promo.
This is how much it's going to cost me to get a divorce. So if I wanted a divorce,
there you go.
I'd run my card. Like, obviously, it's going to cost me more. But if I want the initial paperwork to get started, the price will be $46.84.88 before taxes. All right, sorry about that. Let's go. Just wanted to show the price.
16 core processor, absolute beast, best of the best, top of the line, newest one coming out of AMD's pocket right now. 5.7. 5.7. I think the boost clock on mine is 5.2.
Mine is 5.
This thing boosts to 5.7, 16 cores. It's absolutely insane. Zen 4, DDR5. This thing is, but on top of that, still pulling only 120 watts. So very efficient.
Very power efficient. Yeah.
Very power efficient for what it's pushing.
Absolutely.
I mean, you go up to some of these 20, 30, some of the Threadrippers and the Aeons or whatever they're called from Intel, some of the bigger like 64 core, they're pulling
a lot.
Way more. And this is gonna do just fine. This is gonna Xeon. Yes, thank you, Tech. He's got it. Xeon.
Yeah, we got Tech Tink and Zulish in the house, and they are IT gurus also.
Same with Samurai.
Samurai. Yep, that's his profession. So, chat, if you guys have any questions, you can ask Tech Tink, Demon, maybe Zulish. I don't want to, volunteer him, but these, because I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's working or not. I know, but yeah, I don't want to volunteer. But these people in our family, we have a very diverse family, and what I love is that we have so many professions outside of streaming that affects streaming in so many ways that we got a lot of gurus around here, and it's one of the reasons why if you notice that our family setups and when you take a look at the Boonie Tribe, a lot of us have great quality is because we have help within the community. So just want to throw that out. We got some gurus in the house. Anyway, continue, D. My bad.
No worries. So we're gonna move on. Yeah, great
All right.
CPU. This is a
Really?
great start.
Yep.
And there's a little boo boo, but we'll fix that when we get to it.
Okay.
So I went with the X73. So we went with the X63 on the last one. The X73 obviously has the full digital layout, so you can actually see what your
Temps are.
temps are at a glance. You have the RGB fans. These fans aren't the best RGB fans because the ring's only on the outside, but it's still great cooler. It's gonna keep this absolute unit of a CPU under control, and it's gonna keep your frames up. Frames win games, right?
Frames win games,
what we're about.
baby.
We're about streaming it and getting all the frames we can all at the same time.
Oh, when you go live, your
gonna
temps will spike if you don't
They
have
will
a
spike.
really good. Naturally it spikes,
Within
but without good
one of
cooling.
one of the best on the line right
Oh
now
yeah,
for cooling. So
this is beautiful. It's a
Quick and
beautiful
easy.
AIO. Yeah.
But that price tag, it's they can get up there.
Oh
They can
yeah.
definitely get up there. You're paying for $300. Usually like $289 realistically,
Right.
$250. But yeah, when you can find them,
This is beautiful.
easy. Yeah.
You're
So
already at this point building just with these two a beautiful PC with performance and looks. So you're
Right.
getting both on this one.
Okay, so I did do my little boo boo here. Is I picked an EATX board.
Okay, send me the link to the one you're actually. Unless you're re-updating the picker, and we'll get the most
I
up to
don't
date
think I
picker.
can.
Okay.
I don't think I can. Oh wait, yes I can. Give me a second.
Yeah, and then just send me that link, and then we'll pop it up.
Let me pick.
So the price is gonna get higher. Is what you're saying?
No, it's actually going to get lower
Oh,
because it's just because of the case I picked. I can
Okay.
either change the motherboard or the case.
all right.
It may not fit is my problem.
So it's a fitment thing.
Mhm.
Not necessarily a performance or price thing, but it's a fitment.
Holy shit! It could easily get It could easily get higher. It could get $1,000 higher.
Okay, it can easily get.
All right, so we're just gonna do that, and for good measure, and we'll do that. Yeah. So I'm gonna send you this.
Yeah, send me that, and I'll pop that up.
And
Just give us a sec,
we'll
y'all.
do
We
that.
are updating our information. We're updating our information right now, so that way we bring the most latest and greatest
Send it to you on the
information to you.
Discord.
All right, got you. All right, order picker, this one right here. Oh, so
Same thing.
yeah, it. Boom.
Wait,
little
is it
cheaper.
the same thing?
It's AC
No.
EATX AM5 motherboard.
I guess I picked the right same motherboard. Anyway, $699 motherboard, $700 we're looking at for a motherboard. Either way.
Woo.
Either way.
Daddy.
Yeah, if you're
Daddy.
gonna buy something like a 7950X 3D, you need to put some power behind it. You need to make sure the VRMs are good. You need to make sure your cooling's good. You need to make sure
Oh,
all your lanes, you have enough, M.2 slots. And I mean, these things can have up to like 5 M.2 slots nowadays.
so I have a question, Dion.
What's up?
A lot of people are talking about like, oh, you need to get an M.2. Can you help me and also the newer people out there that's even thinking about or just got into PCing? What's the difference between a SATA hard drive, right? And just in general, a SATA hard drive and an NVMe .2,
Speed.
like so it's speed.
Speed.
Speed of what though? Like, is it speed
size? Well, speed, size, and basically it's speed and size.
of performance wise? What does that do for the computer and the actual activity of gaming or streaming? Like, what does it do in performance wise, speed wise?
So you're going to, if you have your main operating system on
Okay.
an NVMe versus a SATA drive, your NVMe is going to start up quicker. It's
Okay.
going to load all of your programs that it loads on startup faster.
Okay.
Games wise, if you have games on your M.2 versus a SATA, it's going to load those games faster. You're gonna have shorter loading times within the game. It's
Oh.
just gonna be able to read
and write. Read and write quicker.
speeds
Okay.
are insanely different, and especially even within M.2s, your read and write speeds can be different. So Gen 3, you're looking at like 2,000 2700, I think, somewhere around there.
Okay.
For like the high end Gen 3 drives. Gen 4, you're looking at 5,000, 7,000 megabytes per second. This is what we're talking about, megabytes per second. So, like,
Yep. You got some type C's in here. Type C's. You got the reset on the BIOS. I love that part where he's like, you press a button and it goes. Boop. Love that.
You got it all.
You don't have to you don't have to ground pins and shit like that. Love it.
So yes, great IO.
I love MSI, dude.
Absolutely
have MSI sexy.
Board.
Yeah,
two USB-C headers. I mean, all metal construction on the PCIe lane. So on all of them, not just the top one. A lot of them do just that top one. They reinforce it with the metal and this, that, and the other. All of them, as you can tell, you have probably 3 or 4 slots for M.2 drives on that one. Yeah, including one up top. Yeah, so you're killing it. You're literally killing it with this.
At this point, you are killing it. You are rolling around in something nice, and then we're gonna roll into memory.
We're gonna roll into memory. So with memory,
RGB,
you have to add another $240 to this price tag because there's supposed to be 2 kits. You gotta fill out your slots. You can't run a dual channel two RAM slot on a god tier build.
Okay, all right, I got all my slots filled. Okay, I'm like, when you said that, I was like,
you gotta have all 4. So we're gonna have to run 2 of these. So you're looking, instead of 237, you're looking at 474.
Basically
for just your RAM.
Yeah,
$500 for RAM because this is DDR5. It's more expensive, obviously. It's RGB, which obviously makes it more expensive. That's the difference.
Fuck?
You see? So in the last build, we were looking at 3600.
I run 3200 on mine.
Yeah. So yeah, we were looking at 3600, and for what, $98 for 32 gigs. We're looking at $500 for 64 gigs at what, 5,000? You said 6,400.
6,400.
6,400. Speed. Bro.
Now, okay, so we talked about the M.2, right? Speed-wise, for all the newbies, and also me, I'm still understanding. Speed-wise, what does that do performance-wise for the computer when it comes to gaming, operating, streaming? Like, what does that help do?
So RAM helps with all the smaller processes.
Random access memory, right?
Yeah,
like, that's what
Yeah. So the more RAM you have, the more headspace you're going to have. Obviously, your computer, when you're running a game, it's using RAM. When you're running programs, those programs use RAM. So the more you have, available, is going to help your computer continue to perform at its level that it's performing at without having any hiccups. Without slowing down or lagging your game out, or messing up a program, or lagging out a stream you're watching, whatever that may be. It's going to help with all of that. And then the speed, it's just going to make those processes run faster.
And this goes up to, the motherboard that we got goes up to 128 gigs, right? So you can rock out with 128 gigs.
You could drop easily. You could double that price, basically, get some 64 gig sticks and drop $1,000 on your RAM very easily.
The 128 gig. Is that because I run a 64 gig and I'm never capping, like not even close to 40%.
You're not gonna use 128 gigs. People that put 128 gigs in their computer are either just have too much money that they don't want, or they're professional. Or they're professional.
They're professional at what they do.
They may be rendering movies and doing editing,
right? So editing and cinematic stuff.
It's just going to help those processes. It's going to help the rendering process and this, that, and the other.
For editors.
Yeah, if you're not maxing your RAM, adding nothing will do nothing for performance, because if you're not using the RAM that you have, why add more?
AutoCAD. Again, I shouldn't be doing this, but obviously AutoCAD. We're talking about performance within applications. I run a software called PlanSwift for work, and also AutoCAD. And with my build, I don't have any freaking issues. Issues at performing. Yeah, like, and then I edit. So I do. I'm doing cinematic edit, or no, I wouldn't say cinematic editing, but I'm editing my videos in a software, and I can render 4K. My GPU, my RAM. Now, again, I'm not using the top of the line editing softwares. right? And I'm not doing a whole bunch, but 64 gigs, as far as I know, I'm not. And I got my task manager up all the time, just to kind of see where it is. But yeah, like so editing, rendering stuff, right? Again, when you're looking at drawings, it's rendering, right, at this point. So RAM does do a lot, Dion, for like when you're rendering stuff. It, I'm just okay. All right, fair enough. So all of you guys out there, that's what the speeds and the gigabytes are for.
Megahertz.
Faster, better, bigger. America and everywhere else. America, everywhere else too. It's not just America anymore.
Mostly China.
Got it. So let's we're rolling into now the storage. Again, this is you take the floor, bro.
This is a Gen 4 drive.
$300. Oh,
yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, that board can run a Gen 5 drive, but those aren't really kind of available at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna go ahead and just stick with a 4 terabyte
hydrate
M.2. It's a little stick. It's 4 terabytes. It's $300. So you're looking at what, $75 a terabyte, something like that. It's not that bad.
It says 75 cents or 0.75, so it's 7.5 cents
it's
per
$75
gigabyte.
A gigabyte.
Yeah. So 0.75 cents per gigabyte. So terabyte, yeah, you're looking at $75.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough.
So solid drive, Western Digital has been around since like the beginning of computers.
I think I'm gonna get me an NVMe, not this crazy type shit. I don't know,
not that one,
not that one. I don't need that one, but I think I'm gonna do it, yo. Dion.
I do run one of these. I do have one of these in my fiance's build, and it runs great. I don't have a 4 terabyte one, obviously, because Jesus.
So let's see what a 2 terabyte looks like. $139 for 2 terabytes. Amazon. Well, it's out of stock, but Best Buy, it's in stock. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. See, so you can get a decent sized one for decent price.
I think I know where I'm going at the end of this stream, y'all.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm running a SATA. Everyone's telling me change the NVMe, and I was like, you know what? Based on the information you gave me and what I do, not just with streaming and media, but just what I do in general, I'm on the computer a lot.
If I were you, I would get a 2 terabyte.
Yep, 2 terabyte is where I'm looking. I really like my hard drive, my external for all just random stuff, my pictures and all that.
Use it. You're just adding. You just put your games on it. Don't even put your operating system on it. Put your games on it.
Well, because I have a disk HD, external HD versus an NVMe. And if I'm running a game like, say, Call of Duty on that external hard drive, which is
don't ever do that.
Okay, I don't, but don't ever do that. I'm never gonna.
Don't ever do that.
Okay, so I think we're going.
We're moving on. You're getting bad ideas. Move on. Moving on. You're getting bad ideas. Stop it. No, don't do that.
All right, fair enough. I am the king of bad ideas, but that's why I have Dion here telling me no, don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna regret it.
So for the graphics card,
4090. Based on what I spent 2 years ago on my graphics card, I'm getting more and more mad when I see 4090s cheaper.
Stay mad because you couldn't wait.
Okay,
stay mad because you couldn't wait.
I couldn't wait, but the inflation was so crazy because availability. But now the availability is a lot more. It's a lot more available. The material and all that stuff.
They did this launch a lot better than they did the last one.
And I heard the 4090s were just melting.
Put out the money. Everybody put out the money to finally buy and finally buy a 30 series card. So no one's really buying these cards either.
Yeah.
Only a very select few of people are actually upgrading from a 30 series to a 40 series, which is.
So what's the 4090 good for? Because my 3080 does really good for me. So in reality, for streaming, all right. So this is just because you can. This isn't just because you can, or you need it.
That 24 gigs of VRAM on a 4090 and a 3090.
Right.
3090 has the same amount of VRAM. You are not going to touch any of that playing Call of Duty.
Not even close. You're not even going to scratch it. You're not even going to be like.
You're running what? Like maybe it can probably pull like 8 gigs max.
7 for
max.
me, 6, 7, and I
Yeah,
got
something like
everything
that.
hyped
Max.
up. Yeah, like
Yeah,
6, 7 gigabytes of
max.
VRAM.
So
Yeah.
you're I mean, even with, like, granted, there are games that can bring these massive cards to their knees still. Like, you run Psycho everything on Cyberpunk, you're gonna get your frames are gonna drop.
Right.
But it's just because the game can't utilize the full 24 gigs. 90 series cards are not a viable solution for gaming rigs, for gaming and streaming rigs, in my opinion.
4090s.
3090s, 4090s, 90 series cards in general are not viable solutions. They are way overpriced, and you are never going to put them to their. You're never going to push them to their limits. You're just not. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna work. It'll work just fine, but it's not going to. You're not gonna ever have to worry about maxing. Well, I mean, that's the point. You're never gonna have to worry about maxing what you keep.
But still, you don't need it.
But it's
way
there. Overkill.
Yeah.
Way overkill. Unless you're doing, like I said, rendering work, for rendering and editing
drawings,
4K videos,
yeah, like creating drawings. So unless you're an engineer or cinematic, or like designer,
some hardcore
web designing, graphics designing. So unless you're doing this, you can
and even still, your build with a 3080 Ti is just fine.
I love the ability of the 3080. It sucks that I paid an overprice, but my 2080 was it was just not enough for what I was trying to do. So I didn't need to get it, but when I bought the 3080, what was great is that I gave it to my family member. And he was struggling with the 1060 trying to play some video games, and I was like, hey, I got this 2080. We did a pretty good trade for it, so I dished it off to him. He's still using it. But yeah, the 30 series, in my opinion, did I go higher than I needed? Again, yes. Ignorance is bliss, right? I didn't know. Could I have went to a 3070, 3060? Yeah, I could have.
Did you hear me? Huh? Did you hear me? You said ignorance is bliss. So why aren't more people happy?
Fair enough. That'll be on another podcast. We're gonna have to plan that out. Why aren't more people happy?
All right, moving on. Yes, you spent $1,600 on a 4090 because you could.
Yes, at that point,
you could easily went with a 3090 or a 3080 Ti or a 4080 or whatever and been just fine.
All right.
So Corsair 5000D, huge case, gigantic case, plenty of room to build in. It comes in white as well if you wanted to go to white. Plenty of airflow. Ooh. It's a solid case.
So what is that backplate for? Why, like, it's there and then
because it's a configuration thing. So you can either block it off and have more cable management, or you can put 3 fans there or a radiator.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it
has
Magic
Eyes there, not there, not there, there. No.
I like it. It's if I'm not mistaken, it's like, I think it's, you can put 4 120 millimeter fans in the front of that case.
4.
So it's technically it's not a 360. It's technically a 420 if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Yes, you can put 4 of them there in that particular configuration. So when you do that, it takes away from the airflow.
Well, seeing the size, you actually look right. 1, 2.
I'm pretty sure you can put 4.
Looks like, just by looking at the scale of the fan in there already, it looks like you can put 4.
So 4 there, 1 in the back, 360 up top. You got plenty of fans, 360 on the side.
A lot of fans. Just so many fans.
If I'm not mistaken, 10 or 11 fans altogether.
Yeah,
it's an absolute unit of it's a big case, but it's just more of a tall case than it is a wide case like the O11 Dynamic or the case we looked at before, the white case that the H9 Flow. Those are more wide, shorter, stubbier cases. This is more of a taller, skinnier case for the most part.
So when it comes to the case, right? Well, obviously when we get to these big cases, I assume this, but I knew I didn't have enough fans. With the case this big, airflow is obviously, we're going to need a lot of fans to create that flow, right? We're going to, so don't shy out on fans, and don't shy out on like weak fans. If you can
put a fan in a spot, put it there.
Put it in the spot. Got it. Gotcha.
Get all the fans you can for a build like this, because like I said, you're running a 4090 Yes, it has. It's a triple fan card, which will fit.
Right.
It's a triple fan card, but you're running a 4090. That's going to put out some
A
major
lot of heat.
on
Yeah.
top of running a very hot CPU on top of it. So you're going to be putting
Right.
out some.
Definitely
so you're
some
gonna
heat.
wanna make sure you have some intake fans and some exhaust fans. You want to be able to get that heat out.
Keep it cool. Keep it
Exactly.
cool. All right. So the cooler,
moving on-
the better it performs.
Yes, the cooler it is, better it performs. Always, always.
Ooh, we're at a
So-
1200. Yikes.
This is because we can. So we don't need a 12. We could probably do it with 1,000. I think it came out to like 850 on the wattage, 799, so 800. So we could do 1,000-watt CP or PSU
All right,
just
so
fine.
let's roll
But this
down.
is- no. Go back.
Go back to 12. Okay. All
This
right.
is we're not doing 1,000. That we did the 1,000 basically on the
All
left.
right, fair enough. I just wanted to see the price comparison.
1,200 because we can. We
Because
already
we
looked at
can.
the 1,000. It's,
Yeah,
it's
no.
179. 179 for the 1,000.
So another $100, basically.
Another $100. You're getting a platinum certification over the gold.
Right. You can plug
And
in
you're
all
getting-
your lights from your house into that thing and run your computer.
Exactly. You're good. You can start a car. You can jump a car with this thing.
Let's
easy.
go. Got a car
Easy.
charger.
So you got 1,200 watts, so you have plenty of headroom for all the RGB, the unicorn puke, and everything else in between. Anything else you want to run off of it, like I said, we're running a god tier motherboard at this point. We can run two graphics cards if you wanted to. You could run, 3 capture cards if you wanted to. Whatever
Right.
you want to do at this point. This computer can do it. I can absolutely do it all.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
So this is the Gucci.
that's
or
the
for
Gucci
us.
Gucci.
This is
Yeah.
anything more than that.
You're going into Threadrippers and
Now you're just
workstation computers that we don't need. But this is going to do everything a streamer needs it to do, and then
Yes.
some.
So it is time. Out of all this that Dion has given us, what's overkill, what's not overkill, kind of what's the right blend and the right feel. We're gonna see where Dion sits with his build, and he sent me a link.
So this has
Disclaimer. There's a disclaimer here.
Has my keyboard, mouse, and
Do you got your monitors in there?
no, not my monitors, but it has my keyboard, mouse, and my camera in it. If I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
All right, so there's a little bit more to it, but we're gonna see where Dion's build is. Weird. That list is a little bit long, bro. But okay, so we're gonna XNay on the. So this is actually gonna be good to talk about with streaming and stuff. But we got the
Right.
camera.
You can edit it if I'm not mistaken up at the
Alright.
top.
Can
and
we
you can take that off? But look at the price for the solid full price of just about everything.
So this is basically a streamer setup minus the monitor. So you got the
Minus-
Elgato
yeah.
face cam,
And
which
the mic.
and the microphone. Okay, so we'll go bottom up. Face cam. The Elgato face cam, in my opinion, for the price, get it. I have it. When I got it, I'm into
Great
video.
camera.
I'm into cameras. This is for the price of $149. There is some decent comparable ones, but this is by far, to me, one of the best cameras for streaming low light scenarios. Beautiful camera, and the software is amazing. I heard the SteelSeries Arctics for headsets.
So
We're going to talk about that.
I don't have the 7s.
You don't got the 7s?
I have the Nova Pro wired. I couldn't
Okay.
find it on the list, but that is the price, $249.
So $249. Okay, so we got the Basilisk VP Pro. If you like to play on PC and you play games, you all know what the Razer Basilisk is. The Huntsman Tournament
Razer Pro.
Edition, the Razer Huntsman. Again, if you're playing games on PC, you know what that is. All right, so
You
let's
get it,
roll
you get
back
it.
up and
Roll it
let's see what CPU. Come on, let's see what CPU he has.
All right, so I rock a 10900 KF, not a K, it's a KF. There's a difference. I don't really remember what the difference is. It's stupid, but I rock.
Isn't it overclockable? Like if you have, or is it the K means you can?
The K
means
it's overclock.
okay.
The F, it's something else. I
Gotcha.
forgot exactly what it means. So mine actually 5.3. Mine boost to 5.3, 125 watts though. If you remember the last build, the God
Mhm.
build,
Right.
we were pulling 120, and it was boosting to 5.7.
Way more, yeah.
16 cores versus 10 on mine. I'm rocking a 10 core 20 thread processor. It was one of the first ones in there. No, I don't have an internal. Tech said something for the F. I don't have internal graphics, so that is not correct.
Gotcha.
So yeah, 10 core, great processor, very hot, very hot.
Okay.
You're gonna want to, yeah, but you're gonna want to definitely make sure that you can cool this thing, especially if you're gonna overclock it. If you're gonna mess with it at all, it's gonna jump. It's not gonna like it very much.
It's gonna be like hot.
Cool. Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to keep it cool.
Burn your face. All right, so we got that, and I'm sorry, we are looking at chat now, so XC is gonna kill us. Demon, I will verbally let you know what my setup in relative to what Demon set up here with microphone, camera, and all that stuff. So we're gonna hang tight on that. We'll do that during the giveaway. So all right, so MSI Mag Cooler. Ooh, this I love.
So I have a
360. Love MSI.
That is not technically the one that I have, because obviously, again, it wasn't on the list for some reason. I have
this
the one
is the
with,
price.
It's about the price. Yeah, I have the one with the digital screen on it.
Okay.
I'm looking over right now and I can see my tips.
Is it the specs are the same though? The specs are fairly the same with the 2000 RPMs.
The same. It comes with the same fans. The same exact fans actually. It's the same radiator. It's the same. The only difference between them is the block itself is a little different.
Gotcha.
And the plate shape. Some of them have circular plates. Some of them have square plates. That's really about it.
Okay.
But MSI does push more toward a Intel IHS scheme. So Intel's IHSs on their CPUs are a little more concave.
Okay.
So in that, MSI does kind of push more toward Intel CPUs versus AMD. So that's why on the godlike AMD build, we went with NZXT.
Okay.
And these are just little trade secrets that you find out by listening to millions of hours of podcasts and this, that, and the other.
Yep. Got a lot of great information out there, everybody. We're barely scratching the surface.
And the way I have it set up, it's running great in mine. So I have a ROG Strix
cool, baby.
Z490 e-gaming. This is a amazing motherboard. It's got two M.2 slots, cooling for both of them, if I'm not mistaken. Great VRMs, great heat sinks, 4-channel, obviously. It just runs. It does. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got plenty of I/O, and I've never had a problem with it.
Nice.
Not with the motherboard itself. It's always provided what I needed. It's still a bit pricey.
Beautiful though, man.
Still a bit pricey to be 3 generations behind, but it is a gorgeous motherboard. It really is.
It looks beautiful, dude. That really, I love. I got an Asus motherboard myself, but man, I love the way their graphics are, how they decorate it, and just the way it looks, man. It reminds me of like Optimus Prime. Let's go,
It looks tough.
Definitely good. All right, so let's move to the next one. You got your Corsair.
Yep. So I just did an upgrade actually on this. So before I was running a 32 gig kit of the same memory at 3200 megahertz. I just switched to a 64 gig kit of 3600 megahertz.
Vengeance Pro, let's go.
Yeah, beautiful RAM. It looks great in any case, and it'll definitely make a dark case pop.
Yeah.
If you don't have a lot of RGB and you want to add some, that'd probably be the best place to start, because it's going to be right in the middle of your case. It's going to kind of shine its light around everything else around it, so you're going to get that bounce off. And it's just great RAM. Again, Corsair, always a great company, has been in the game for a very long time.
Yeah. Products are good.
Their products can be a little pricey, but they're worth it, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely worth it. So yeah, we're running four sticks of that. So 2 kits, you're looking at like $200 you can find it on sale. I found mine on sale. I think I spent a little less than that. I think I saved like $40-$50 on mine. So there is that.
So 64 gigabytes total. We're looking at just shy of $200.
Yeah. I do run two 970 Evos or 980 Evo 980 Pros. No, wait. What did I do there? Okay, yes. No, I run a 980 and a 970.
I was
So I
like,
run two different M.2s in
send me
mine.
a new list.
Yeah, I run two different M.2s in mine, and then I do run two Seagate Barracudas as
Gotcha.
SSDs for extra storage. And then I think there's actually three of them in there. I can't remember everything, people.
You can't remember everything, people. Damn.
I can't remember everything. But yeah, so I do have a lot of storage. I have about 4.5 terabytes of storage in my computer at the moment.
Right.
And it's because, you know, we have a lot of games. We got to keep them all downloaded. Who wants to re-download games all the time?
Yeah, I know, right?
So and when I start running out of space, I just buy a new one.
Damn.
So the video card on this one, I could not find my video card with a price on it, but I found one in a close enough price. I have a 3090 FE.
3090 FE, okay.
Yeah, so I have the Founders Edition card. I have the one from NVIDIA. Everybody knows what it looks like. It looks like a VCR. It's huge. It's like this fucking thick, and no one knows why.
Can you explain what a VCR is to some of the younger people, if they are in here? What is a VCR?
Back in the old times, back in the before times, we didn't used to have DVDs or streaming services. We had these things that they're about this big, and it looked like a giant cassette tape. If you know what that is, you probably don't.
You might have to explain cassette tape.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a giant cassette that you had to put into a giant machine, and it would play you movies. You had to go to the video store and pick out said movies and rent them and make sure you brought them back on time, or else they charged you more. So instead of paying $5.99 a month to watch all the movies you want, you paid $5.99 per movie, and you took it home for 3 days and came back. And then those places died.
So that's what a VCR is.
DVDs came out.
To be honest, I really just wanted you to talk to them while I'm setting up the giveaway. So I was like, distract them real quick while I go. That's why I'm doing this.
So
case, quick distraction. Case.
I run the Lee and Lee PCO.
I got the same one, but in white.
Both run the same case. It is a great case. It's a great water cooling case if you do decide to go that route later on down the line. If you want to do a full water cooling build, this is probably one of the cases you need to be looking at. It's got plenty of space for all of that, and you can build some crazy stuff. That they make full distribution blocks that take over that front piece of glass, and you can see all of your liquid in the front. It's insane.
Nice.
Absolutely insane.
I love this case, by the way.
Easy to build in. It's a dream to build in.
So easy to build in, dude. So much room. Love it. Every piece fell in. The wiring of the cords, running them through, for me, it was just an amazing experience. It makes me excited to build my computer.
Same thing with that 5000D from the last build. Crazy's one of our tribe members, Crazy Legs. That's what his built it.
Yeah, dude.
The 5000D. It was a dream to build into. It was a great fucking case to build in.
What I love about this case is that there's a USB-C in the front, and everything nowadays is USB-C.
Same with the 5000D.
Yeah, like I got 3 USB Thunderbolts in the back with my motherboard, but then it gives me that USB in the front, and I'll be honest, plugging that in, putting my phone in or whatever, it's just, to me, I love the USB-Cs.
Really easy.
Oh, dude, and the USB 3.2s in the front, I love that too. So this, ultimately, for me, the Leon Leaf, it was a no-brainer with how big it is, and also the USB features in the front, for me, made it like, yeah, I would like that. So $134, that's around how much I spent too, 2 years ago. I think a year and a half ago when I got this case. And again, you want to take a look at how good the product is. The price is based on I wouldn't say manufacturer, but the price is based on distributor. Some of them fairly remain the same, and there has been a slight decrease too. So good for people who's
Oh
looking
yeah.
into it
Yeah,
now.
they're definitely dropping in price. I mean, they
Absolutely.
were a big thing. I think when I bought mine, it was $180.
Yeah.
So they're definitely dropping in price.
All right. And this is beautiful.
And
So
then on to the last part, the most important part,
the most important part is the power.
and it's the same one we looked at earlier. It's the 1,000 watt, 80 plus gold, fully modular. It's a beast of a power supply. It's got I think if I'm not mistaken, it's got a 10-year warranty on it. When you buy them
Warranties are
brand new, they
nice.
come with 10-year warranty.
Warranties are nice. Love
I mean,
warranties.
it's a great thing. So they don't fit in at all the cases. It is a very big power supply.
Mine is
compared to
fairly big,
regular
yeah.
power supply. Same thing with that 1,200 watt power supply. It's gonna be. I think the 1,200 is actually bigger than the 1,000. They do get pretty beefy. So.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. That's my build. That's my rig.
We are running a bit longer than scheduled, but we want to make sure that with all of this information, it is very important. And I know that as I was peeking in chat, someone mentioned wireless internet, and then Damon. Well, Demon Samurai responded hardwire. That's the way to go. But if you can't look up wireless routers and look up your motherboard's ability on wireless capabilities and speeds, I believe that matters. Again, there's a lot of gurus in here that know that.
If you don't have Wi-Fi on your board, buy a Wi-Fi card. Plug it straight into your motherboard. It can come out the side, and you get Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off of it very easily.
There you go. So now we're gonna be starting the giveaway. It's gonna be half hour. Now, if you want to check how much points you have, you go command points, and it'll let you know how many points you have. Now, once the raffle starts, range extenders that have hard drive connections. There you go. So you go iPoints. Everybody, check to see how many points you have. Today's points is going to be, let's take a look at it. It's going to be 50 points per ticket, 20 tickets maximum. So within the 30 minutes, and as you're hanging out, you're getting points. But if you want quick points, again, you want to take a look. Let's go back to the podcast view, because we are done now with this. Let's go back to the podcast view. So you'll take a look at the rewards to the bottom left. Those are a bit extra rewards. If you guys want to, it would greatly be appreciated. However, not necessary, because you get free points just by hanging out. We are going to go ahead and start this. Now, if you guys want to know how do I get my tickets, you are going to have to type in something. So you're going to have to type in, let's see, crap, it's been so long since I did this. How to get tickets.
So that's on you. That's up to you.
So I think it's going to be command raffle with how many tickets you want. Do points roll over? Yes. So just FYI, whatever points that you earned throughout the time, they don't reset. So if you want to save your points for, say, something even bigger, if we do a crazy giveaway, the weekly giveaways are going to be a bit smaller than I would call them the big giveaways. They do roll over and they do save. I won't delete them. It's just my way of showing appreciation for those that just want to spend time, because time is the most important thing to us, right? So I think it's when I start the giveaway, we're gonna have to do an hour. Let me do an hour on this, so that way we can kind of get down with it. Because we're gonna have to talk about microphones, so that's gonna probably extend this podcast out just a little bit. So time duration, we're gonna go ahead and confirm that with an hour.
Yes.
Yep.
Microphones.
Yep. Max tickets is 20. Ticket cost is 50 per. So if you guys want to know how much points you have, it's command points, and it'll show you. So we're gonna go ahead and start the giveaway. So there you go. Use command raffle with the amount of tickets you want to get the tickets. So go ahead and do that. And what we are going to do, I don't know. I love my Bose QC2. If we're talking about headsets, me and Dion, we're going to chat about that. I have a very particular feeling about that, but we're going to get into that after microphones. But it is now breaching. How long are we in?
Hour
It is now
43.
hour 43 minutes. So we're now breaching. So again, everybody, the raffle has opened. As you can tell, Streamlabs said so. So go ahead and start getting your points. It's command raffle with space. I believe it's a space with how many tickets you want. And then today is a $20 e-gift card from Amazon. So pretty easy. I purchase it. I send it over. 50 points for a ticket. Yep, there you go. I raffle with the number to get your ticket. That is correct. And then so we are going to take another quick because I do need to fill up my water. By the way, this stream is sponsored by Agua, but I don't have any.
I do.
So stay hydrated, everyone. Stay hydrated. Oh, you received 17 tickets. Oh, and there's a feature that I did turn on here, and I will let people know if you want to give people points because they don't have enough, you are now able to give points. I think it's so you can give points to other people. Now I don't know exactly how to do that, but I mean I think we can research it. We got an hour.
I'll let you guys know. But I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna let you know.
It can happen. I looked it up, but it can happen that if you have someone in chat and say they're just short, they're just short of trying to get some tickets and they really want tickets, you can give tickets to other people. I'm okay with that. A giving heart's a good heart. Let's see here. All right, so get your raffle. We're gonna go ahead and turn up the music real quick, and I will be right back.
We're gonna take a break, right?
Yep, we are gonna take a break. Should we go? Do you need to take a break?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So we're gonna go. Be right back, real quick, y'all. But enjoy the music, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much. look at your image. Your image. How do I?
You gotta mute yourself too, because I can still hear you.
Yeah, I can't mute myself.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't. I can mute you from stream, but I can't mute me. But anyway, taking a break. Call me on my cell phone or something.
Just remember that I got you. You probably feed your soul. Girl, you hear me like a doctor, but you probably don't know. All that time we spend debating, hating, bickering. Got me breaking extra swishes, mixing liquor with it. So I talk like I don't need you, but you know that ain't true. Cause everything I want, I'm getting. All I really want is you. I only hit you when I want some. Love till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you love drunk, cause you realize all I wanted was you. I only hit you when I want some. Love till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you love drunk, cause you realize all I wanted was you. If I'm out of sight, then I'm out of mind. But you know I'm falling through the right time. I'm seeing what you want through the white light. I got that what you want, I give you lifeline. Tell me what you want, yeah. I give you what you want, yeah. No, I got that what you want, I give you a lifeline. But you know I'm falling through the right time. She said your name on her wish list. Wish list got me feeling like I'm big fish. Split, split, she on my line slurring in words like, okay, you lit. Drop that, you know you bun. Cannot leave my glasses on, I wanna see that real crystal. When we get smoking mirrors, I'm tucked off in the hills, real secluded in my feelings. Tell me, can you keep it real? Hold it still for a real one. Man, I've been fucking with you since my Motorola flipping. If it's real, just drop the pin. I'm on my way, them ties gripping, doing 10 over the limit. The way you move, no lie, I'm finna have to take that risk. I'm touching all them spots till you regret giving me lip. I'm forward in my cars, I know I've been on your nerve till I splurge, paying dues to them curves. You was popping all that shit, now you outside of them words for the birds, yeah. Feel like we go together, let's not force it. This might sound sorta forward, but I sorta only hit you when I want some. Love till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you love drunk, cause you realize all I wanted was you. I only hit you when I want some. Love till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you love drunk, cause you realize all I wanted was you. With the
Make sure you run this back so we know it's real. I'm trying to go half on a plot of land with the Brody. Yours truly, Young Apollo.
I only hit you when I want some. Fucked up till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you fucked up. Love drunk cause you realize all I wanted was you. I only hit you when I want some. Fucked up till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you fucked up. Love drunk cause you realize all I wanted was you. I be like, baby, don't do that. You press my buttons, you know better, depending on where my mood at. What's so fucked up, I just might let her. We done weather, plenty weather, it's whatever with me though. Cause I know somebody gon' love me and won't never let me go. Think it's better that we grow with each other on my mother. What you do under them covers, it be better than these hoes. And I ain't saying that I'm perfect, baby girl, cause you know me. But everything I say I do and everything I do low key. Why you flexing for them photos and them niggas in your tweets? He that nigga on the gram, but I'm that nigga in these streets. Just remember that I got you, fuck you, proper feed your soul. Girl, you hear me like a doctor, but you probably don't know. All that time we spend debating, hating, bickering and shit. Got me breaking extra swishes, mixing liquor with that shit. So I talk like I don't need you, but you know that that ain't true. Cause everything I want, I'm getting. All I really want is you. I only hit you when I want some. Fucked up till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you fucked up. Love drunk cause you realize all I wanted was you. I only hit you when I want some. Fucked up till you realize all I wanted was you. You only hit me when you fucked up. Love drunk cause you realize all I wanted was you.
If I'm out of sight, then I'm out of mind. But you know I'm falling through the right time. I'm seeing what you want through the white line. I got that what you want, I give you lifeline. Tell me what you want, yeah. I give you what you want, yeah. No, I got that what you want, I give you lifeline. But you know I'm falling through the right time. She say a nigga on her wish list. Wish list got me feeling like I'm big fish. Split, split, she on my line slurring them words like okay, you lit. Drop that shit, you know you bun. Cannot leave my glasses on, I wanna see that shit real crystal. When we fucking smoking mirrors, I'm tucked off in the hills, real secluded in my feelings. Tell me, can you keep it real? Hold it still for a real one. Man, I've been fucking with you since my Motorola flipping. If it's real, just drop the pin. I'm on my way, them ties gripping, doing 10 over the limit. The way you move, no lie, I'm finna have to take.
All right, y'all, we are back. Thank you for the break. So let's see how many people just got into the raffle real quick. We have Invalid with 17 tickets. Let's go. Badger, we have 10 tickets. We have Pseudo Fiction. Thank you so much for getting that ticket. Got 1 ticket. If you wonder how many tickets you have, again, it is command points, or not tickets, but command points for how many points you have. And you do the math divided by 50. So we have a total of 20 tickets. Again, this is a $20 giveaway. We are going to just have this running for about another hour. So it gives people enough to get some points. All right. So, and it's called F9 coins. Heyo. All right. So now we're going to talk about microphones. In my opinion, and I know me and Dion, we have our hashtag save points. Yeah, some of the giveaways that we got are going to be big. Me and Dion's been talking about some pretty decent giveaways. We're not going to let it out of the bag yet because it's all in the planning, and I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, right, Dion? We don't want to do that. Also, I don't want to put my foot in the mouth and Dion goes, nope, we're not doing that. So there's many different types of microphones that we can use. A lot of times I see people, there's, corduroy microphones, condensers, or sorry, not corduroy, but condensers and dynamics. Those are the normal type. Those are the common types. I think the 2 types basically. Now, if you wonder what type of audio you need or what type of microphone you need, really it depends on your preference and depends on your voice. So say, for example, a dynamic microphone is a microphone that's very sensitive. The pattern picks up a lot of things. So if you're very light spoken, you don't yell a lot, you don't so those type of things, it brings out a lot of good character. However, if you are a loud person, not the microphone. Wait, not the microphone. Oh wait, sorry, you're muted. Not the microphone for you, if I got that right. But the condenser microphone is one of those things. Or you know what? I actually got it wrong. It's backwards. I think I'd say it's backwards. I got to double check that. But either the condenser microphone and the dynamic, it depends on your voice. If you're a loud person, you don't want the more sensitive mic. Reason being is because it's going to be very, very, very over and cumbersome on the audio. And two, you can break the microphone.
Right.
So I've broken some very sensitive microphones before when we were in the rap studio, and they're like, "Hey, Junior, you know, try not to get too close to the microphone. Try not to yell or belt." And I did, and I messed up the microphone. So I believe I run the SM7B, which is a dynamic microphone, and that really helps with louder people. So the dynamic microphones are for the louder, more like robust, like screamer ragers. So you're gonna want whatever microphone you're getting, you're gonna want a dynamic. A condenser microphone is ran off something called a 48 phantom power. That right there is a very, very sensitive mic, so you can put it a little bit further away. It really picks up good character. However, you get loud, it is going to pick up fan noise. It's going to pick up someone. You're going to need some software to compress and, compress that noise. So those are the two ones that we're going to be looking at, and we're going to dive right in. We're going to go back into the screen and into the little live scene here. And I just wanted to throw in a bundle with interfaces because a lot of people like to do the sound bits. They want to control multiple sources, and the really only way to do that is either have an interface internally, software, or a hardware interface. So we take a look at the pricing. One of the biggest things for me when it comes to audio is I don't sacrifice audio pricing. It's not that I have a blank checkbook, but I think that audio is so important when it comes to media that you can't sacrifice the voice, because that's one of the most beautiful things about streaming and podcasting and creating content, that if your audio is complete garbage and your mids, highs, lows is so out of whack, it's going to be absolutely just horrid. And I hate to say this, that microphones with good quality, to me, there's a price. There's a price point that if you go below these price points, you are taking away a lot of the features that those, I guess you could say, upper scale microphones has. Now, there are budgetary items here, and these are all things that you need to consider when it comes to audio. And one of the reasons why I love interface audios and I love XLR microphones is because that's just what I'm used to when it comes to music studios. I have never, ever went into a music studio, a professional music studio, and ran a USB microphone. Fucking ever. There's never a music studio that I ran into to where I run instruments and we're running 3.5 millimeter jacks or USBs. Like it's not for me. I've never done that. And I spent years in studios. So when you go to an upscale studio, XLR is the thing. So I'm just used to XLR. I love the quality of it. I love hardware because with hardware, you have more controllability with it. You can obviously get your software in there, but if it's not controlled by a hardware, I like, that's one of the reasons why I tend to stay away from USB microphones. Not that they're horrible. It's because I love having a hardware interface, like an audio interface, to actually control certain things. And I don't really like to rely on, I guess you could say, software based things. I don't really like to do that.
Yes, I mean, but they're getting better. Yes, they are getting
they
better.
are.
Like the software interface that I run for everything, it's basically the same.
And I think workload also, it's a very small workload on the computer running software interface or software applications. But when it comes to audio, the less software applications, unless I'm actually recording music and I'm doing editing, I try to go hardware. So this is one of the reasons why if you see here, I just looked on Amazon and I'm just taking a few things, and you see that there is hardware interfaces for it.
Eventually you're gonna have to.
Now, again, there is great USB microphones. I just don't use them. And price points, USB microphones are generally a bit more cost effective from what I saw. And you get the both. You get the dynamic and the condenser. So you can still get both types of microphones based on your voice. And based on the environment that you're going to be in. So it's very important.
People are going to want a condenser mic usually.
Yeah. Condenser, because one thing I like about condenser microphones is that if you have the right suppressing software, you don't have to have the microphone right here, but
Right.
to get really good quality, being as close as you can to the microphone without, yep, exactly, without busting
If
it
I
up.
put it back here, you could still hear me just fine.
Oh, and if that's a condenser microphone, that's
It
what
is.
the beauty of a condenser microphone is. Now, my dynamic mic, if I push it out further, it's going to sound very hollow and echoey.
Yeah.
Because it's made for me to be within a fist or two fists distance away. So we're looking at the microphones right now, and again, these are some, I want to say these are some off brands, but they're let's go to 4 stars. Customer reviews. So I got it up. Customer reviews. Let's do 4 stars and up. All right, so we're looking at the interface and bundle. And remember, when you're dealing with microphones, when you're seeing bundles at $169, it's you're looking at base budgetary. So there can be features and abilities of the microphones that's going to be lacking. But I like the interface because you can map buttons. It most likely has a software where you can customize your mids, your lows. It has the knobs, and what I love is the quick knobs.
Right.
For the fact that I don't have to go to any screen, I just run quick knobs. And let's just take a look right here for Maono.
Good brand.
So with these,
Decent brand.
$110. You have, let's take a look what type of so podcast equipment bundle, light audio interface, all-in-one podcast production, 3.5 millimeter jack microphone. Now it goes from, it looks like an XLR. So if you take a look, it goes from an XLR into a 3.5 millimeter jack. I'll be honest with you, I stay far the hell away from a 3.5 millimeter jack headphone or a microphone. I have one for my vlogging camera, my shotgun mic, but that's a quick plug-in. The quality isn't horrible. It isn't the best. I stay the hell away from it. However, you have an interface that can help you if you have a 10 band equalizing, 10 band plus, you might be able, depending on that quality of that microphone, studio, let's see here, live streaming. What is this? Is this a condenser mic? Because condenser mics, you need a a 48 phantom power. That's what I love about audio interfaces, that a lot of them have built in 48 volt or 48 phantom power, 48 volt phantom power.
Right.
So let's see here. But you're looking at, for a bundle, you have this right now is $110. It's an overnight to me. And you have
pink.
Say that again.
I think it comes in pink.
Does it comes in pink? Oh yeah, hold up. Let's see. Got white. It got pink. You got pink.
Yes, it comes in pink.
So these are, I mean, in my opinion, microphones are very, I mean, audio is very essential. And with the 3.5 millimeter jack, it's a condenser microphone, so it can't be. It can be a bit further away because it's condenser.
Mm-hmm.
So that might actually be useful for people that doesn't want to have a big boom arm right on front of them. You know, you can pop it up somewhere, put it right here towards the bottom of your.
Mine's off to the left.
Yeah,
actually,
and it picks up good noise. Now, if and again, if you have a very, very noisy environment, but you really want a condenser microphone to pick up a very, a lot of noise, or at least be able to pick up far away, there is noise suppression. There is noise suppression softwares, and that's one of the things that I actually do use, because I don't have to control it. I just click it on. It's on. Sorry, it's on. It suppresses all the noise in the background. So if I have a fan on, if like behind me, if I have freaking fans in my computer on, my washer and dryer's on the other side of this room, so you don't hear it, and it sounds really clear. But that's because of some software. So I'm not an enemy of software, but when it comes to controlling your audio and the band, I would prefer it to have a hardware that backs that control, not just a straight up, you download, what is it, Voice Banana or something like that. Like it's like Voice Banana, which is the little equalizing kind of routing voice thing. Anyway, I don't like it.
Better software is Sonar.
Sonar. Okay. Now
Sonar is
they
better.
have been improving, but it's just, again, I love hardware, and I will always recommend anyone to invest into their audio quality and audio control. So $110. It has 4-star rating out of 2,800 people. That's fairly good rating for almost 3,000 people using it. Now they're rating it for their own reasons, right? But based off $110, you get a setup. Yeah, it's not a Go XLR. Yeah, it's not a SM7B, or it's not a SM7. It's not some awesome Sennheiser or Behringer microphone or Sony or Philips. It's not a Quadcast. It's not any of those. It's not a Go. What is it? A Go XLR has a microphone. It's not an Elgato, but it'll do the job. And if you have adequate audio, you will provide good entertainment, clear sound. It's a must.
So my first off headset microphone was made by Mano.
Mano? Okay. I never used them, so
Great.
I'm not
Great.
100%.
The microphone in use was great. I love the microphone. Still in use today with another streamer.
There you go. $110. You'll get yourself an interface that you can customize at the touch of a button and do things like,
oh my god,
do things like that. It may or may not have a voice changer, but you see your volumes, and it just, you have so much control at the tip of your fingers that it is you may be able to have sound effects like this, sound effects like that,
sound effects like this.
That's something that you're going to have to research. And if it's something that you're into, when it comes to, what is it, voice manipulations, I definitely do not like using software if it's not controlled by a hardware, like a voice mod.
Right.
When people do that, I can still hear their regular voice and hear that.
That's settings.
Yeah. So whatever it is, I'm like, ugh, no, please. So that's why, one of the reasons why I love the Go XLR, because it's catered to streamers and how they want to entertain and podcasting.
Right.
But at $400 something or $300 something, you don't need this to start up, but you can still get the basic fundamentals of microphone, hardware, or an audio interface, and get used to that. I recommend that to everyone. That if you want prime sound, go hardware as much as you can, so you have a lot of control in it. Let's roll into, so this is Mano, right? A lot of Mano products. Look at that. They got an XLR and USB microphone. That's actually a pretty good $72. So $72, you got yourself right here a dynamic. This is a dynamic, so it's more like the SM7B. So if anything, it's probably going to have a lot of bassier frequencies. Pretty good, because the SM7B has really good low frequencies on them, to where they have a switch in the back to roll that off and increase the mids. So $72. Let's see here. What is the stars? 4.6 stars, 115 ratings. I'd like to see more in the 1,000. Because the problem with microphones, you have nothing but just research and your ratings, right?
Yeah, these might be new though.
Yeah, so this one right here,
been out for a while.
So let's take a look at this. Awesome clarity. So clarity, we're seeing awesome clarity. Dynamic mic with a clean sound. And clean is where you want it. Don't be fooled. 80% of the sound is post-processing, and only 20 of it is in the mic. Okay. All right. So they're saying the raw sound, great for first-time podcasters, and that's very important. But remember, let's see here, a dynamic mic. Let's go back up here. XLR output. I love XLR. The moment, XLR, but you can plug your headphone in it. What I love when you're actually running mics and interfaces, that you hear your voice in the playback, so you can actually tell how your voice is sounding and if you're peaking or not. And the fact that if you can hear yourself as you're getting excited, you can know if you are getting really loud. It's one of the reasons why, and there is no latency when you plug in XLR into audio interface. There is no latency. It's one thing I hated about USB microphones years back, is that when you do have a voice playback, there is going to be some latency, at least back then. Right. When I did a USB microphone long time ago,
Sure.
like this was like almost 20 years ago. So they probably came back. But if you have a headset where you can plug into the microphone where there is no latency,
I
That's
think
to
I
me
have one
that's
of those.
that is where definitely where it's at. Clean sound. Look at the bass roll off. So you see right here in the frequencies right here. So you have a good bass roll off, and then it gets the mids stay pretty stable, and then you get into the highs. So it looks like that this microphone might be able to be a really good microphone for those who speak loud, and it will show a good amount of character in your voice, because some microphones without good settings muddy your emotion, and that's one thing that we have to consider. So $72, you have a, what is it, a Mano XLR and USB podcast microphone. So you have the versatility to get an audio interface or plug it right into your computer, and then it looks like it has a headset right on the mic, so you can plug your headset in and you can talk. If you don't care about controlling your audio, and you're okay with hooking it up to a software, and you don't care about your sound overs, and you got a Stream Deck, so you can actually use voice mod. And Dion told me that if you have a setting right, you should be good. But microphone, do not, in my opinion, don't go cheap. You're really cutting yourself short, because your voice to me and streaming is everything. And there's some days
It's
where
not just that. I mean, if you're gonna go cheap, you just need to make sure that the software that you put behind it, the plugins you put behind it, is
are
at
going to
least
work
with
well.
your stream is gonna work well. Test. That is what I would suggest. Test.
Test the
Make a dummy
microphones.
account and test. Have someone watch you and tell you what you need to do. I can hear your fan in the background. I can hear an echo through the room.
Well, also it's the
maybe you can fix
frequencies of
that.
your, it's also the frequencies of your voice is really where I'm concerned when it goes into those very, very cheap microphones, because your bass, your mids, and your highs really, really matter. And if you don't have a good microphone that's able to at least be set in the
Find the right
software,
plugins.
if
No.
the microphone doesn't have that capability, you're limited even with the plugins. That I know 100%. But
Well, yeah, but most of the plugin stuff that we have nowadays, most of the plugin, it doesn't matter what your microphone can do. I can pull my headset mic out and tune it to all heck. I've done it. I mean, I started
because your microphone has the ability to do it.
Well, no, it should no, the software has the ability to.
Okay.
That's OBS. OBS has the ability to change that.
I use OBS for suppression. That's all. I don't really use.
But you can also put gates, like I said, it all comes down to plugins too. So you can also put like regates and stuff like that in there that can definitely tune out some of that noise, some of that background noise, all of that stuff. It won't even pick up certain decibels, and so until you start talking, it won't start picking stuff up. You can set those levels.
Right. And I think really, again, software has come a long way. However, I'm always going to be a big fan of that. If your tool is weak, its software can only go so much as well. But you're not wrong, because I've definitely tuned my shotgun mic, which is a 3.5 millimeter jack. I ran it into a sound equalizer while I'm recording, and it does do a lot of good work. However, there is some limitations based on the microphone itself. So I can't get my lows to where I want it. I can't get my mids to where I want it. I can't get my highs just because of the way the sound's picking up. But you are right that if you can get a decent microphone
too, like I'm on a computer, tuning a microphone, which is a lot easier than doing it on a camera.
No, I plug this into my audio interface with the shotgun mic, and that's why I'm also not a fan of 3.5 millimeter jack. Please don't get it. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how much software you have. A 3.5 millimeter microphone jack is going to do exactly that, jack. Now, let me rephrase this. At a budgetary price. At a budgetary price. If you get a 3.5 millimeter jack microphone and it's, let's say it's $50, you are going to get what you paid for. Now, if it's discounted from $150 to $50, that's different. But if the base price is a $50 microphone, I will challenge. I'll give someone $100 right now or later that if they can get a $50 freaking 3.5 millimeter jack and make it sound just as good, and I'll pick a microphone that's $150 with as much software as you put in it. the microphone still will not be
So
up to par.
I'm talking about USB mics, not 3.5s.
The USB mics have come a long way because you got the Quadcaster, right? You have Elgato. I think Elgato does that. Rode has a USB mic, which is good. So I'm gonna have to admit that. But
I can make this. This is $150 mic.
Yeah, USB mics now. That's the technology. The Shure M7B is USB and XLR.
Make a $50 USB condenser microphone sound like a $150 mic.
Fair enough, but how many plugins?
2.
I only use one. And I don't even need the plugin. The only plugin that I have is a suppression. So
yeah, so I would use suppression and a gate, and that's all you would need.
So now, again, I don't want anyone to think that a microphone itself is going to be amazing, because I had to tune this microphone. No microphone right off the shelf is going to sound like what me and Dion sounds like. There's no fucking microphone in hell. And there's also settings, environments as well. Sound deadening in your bedroom. It all matters. But when it comes to a microphone, no matter what you get, based on your opinion, please do not cut yourself short. Dion has the knowledge and experience to turn what he says a 50% USB mic. I believe that more than a 3.5. I believe that.
Oh God, I couldn't do that with a 3.5.
I believe that more. USB mics have come a long way. So I will say, that USB XLR, or maybe XLR to 3.5 millimeter, that might work. But a 3.5 to 3.5, you have to have a very expensive microphone that can run that type of sound through a 3.5 millimeter jack. And you have to have some pretty good software. So it has to be an expensive setup. But budgetary, USB XLR, hands down to me, unless you're an audio fucking professional. But I've never met an audio professional, studio tech, that says use this 3.5 millimeter jack will be just fine. Never. And Fatal knows this because we've done studio. Same thing with USB, but podcasting, I wouldn't put that money on a USB. I think if someone goes, I'll get a $50 USB mic, like you said, make it sound like a $150, $200 microphone, I'll be like, okay, well, let me pull my money back. Let's bet $5. You know, let me bet $5. Because
bet $5,
be wary that there are microphones that are that expensive and they're garbage.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. So like, no matter what you do to it, they're garbage. So we're taking a look right now, and you see a lot of it right here is XLR. What I do really like about the XLR is not just the sound quality, but you can plug it into hardware stuff, and a lot of hardware stuff, even older, does not have USB support. The newer stuff may, but not the older styles interfaces, which are way more affordable if you get to the more, I guess you could say, more expensive stuff. Right. They are very, very expensive. So say right now you see right here, which is a Focusrite Solo Studio. That's a 1-input XLR, and it has a microphone, 269 XLR cable. I love Focusrite. I run that. And a headset. And it does have a headset. So this at 269 XLR microphone, Focusrite Scarletts, at that price, I would take this just because of the known quality of Focusrite. Right. Over, like, say, for example, one that's $130 cheaper. If I had the money, I would rather spend the 269. However, like you said, this one right here, this brand does good. So if you don't have the budget, in his opinion, which means just based off our conversation, he knows his audio when it comes to USB, when it comes to settings and all of that stuff, this might work for you. Because if it's a hardware and it has a software that links to the hardware, that's what to me matters. Like if it's a standalone software, you have to have some pretty good knowledge. And I still feel that you're fairly limited, but doesn't mean that you're as limited as, to me, at 3.5 millimeters.
I don't even know anybody that uses a 3.5.
I use it on my shotgun mic, but then I have no other option.
For streaming, like
right.
For streaming, when it comes to a streaming aspect, I don't know anybody that uses a 3.5.
You know what?
I'm gonna have 3.5 in my whole setup is my connection to my
audio, the headset. Yeah, like this right here. Yeah. I do have a shotgun mic, and it is 3.5 millimeter jack. and I can plug it in. So maybe next podcast, I'll podcast with that, and I'm a little nervous. It is a really good shotgun mic, though. It is a really good shotgun mic.
Right.
And I can plug it into USB, but I did the comparisons, and USB does sound amazing on that microphone. The 3.5 millimeter jack, it sounded like literally I'm getting, what is it, washboarded?
No, jeez.
No matter what I'm doing.
Right.
But this is kind of where like the microphones, a lot of people don't have that experience. So let's say 130 to 260, in my opinion, you'll get some good brands. You'll get some good quality. You can get a mixture of dynamic or condenser microphones. Just do your research. And this is a 589 review, 4.7 out of 5. Now, just know that with the Focusrite, when you plug it in, your OBS will read it, but you can't hear yourself. Just know that. I know that for sure. It's one of the reasons why I don't like streaming with everything hooked up to my Focusrite. I do need an audio decoding software to link for Streamlabs to hear it, and there is a massive amount of latency. It's fucking horrible. But it's not an actual interface, or it's not a software that actually is made by Scarlett, because Focusrite Scarlett, they don't care about streamers. That's not what their fucking main source. It's just audio recording.
Right.
But if you don't care about hearing yourself, because some people don't care about it, the Focusrite Solo Studio 3rd Gen, it's got a headset. It's got a boom arm. Let's take a look at this. It's got a boom arm. What type of microphone is this? What type of microphone is this? Why doesn't it tell me?
I don't know.
And Scarlett is a great audio place. So even at their microphone, whether it's condenser or whether it's dynamic, just know that they act differently. And depending, and look at the polar pattern right there. So you see that little upside down apple looking thing. So I'm assuming that could be a dynamic.
That's a
condenser. Well, it's a cardioid pattern.
That's probably a condenser mic.
Because this one has the same pattern, and it's a dynamic.
Well, it's just where they're hitting it from the side like that.
Yeah.
So it makes me think it's condenser. Because
you got that cheapo arm to it
from the front.
I think for the fact of the XLR microphone, the Focusrite, and the headset alone is probably a good set. This thing's probably going to break after a while when you keep moving it. I've already broken one, but still, you get a bundle. You got yourself a pop blocker. Pop. You got a little, what is that? A shock absorber.
Gotta have a shock absorber, man.
Running USB-C. That's awesome. So 48 phantom volt, so you can run both. If you see right there, 48 volt phantom power. You can do both condenser and dynamic, which Focusrite does that. They have that. If you get an audio interface and it doesn't have a 48 volt phantom power option, I mean, if you don't care about it, you don't. But if you like audio and like to deal with different microphones, make sure that you have that 48 volt. Now, let's take a look at microphones. Like, let's just say we obviously know, everyone knows about the Shure SM7B. Now, I don't think it's the greatest microphone in the world because depending on your style. SM7B microphone.
He loves to talk about this microphone, chat.
This microphone, in my opinion, because I can stream with it, I can podcast with it, I can record with it. It fits my voice. It does have a lot of range. Now, it does have built-in bypass filters. That's what I do love about this. And you can scream your fucking ass off in this, and you will not fuck it up. Now, the only problem is that not everybody fits this microphone. A lot of people use it, but you have to know how to set it. Like, I think it's one of those things, but $399 in general is always been the price. I don't think it's it's been that price for a long time. But you'll see right here that this is what they call the cloud lifter. This will basically turn this microphone, this condenser microphone or dynamic microphone, into a condenser. So the cloud lift basically raises that frequency, and it turns itself into, because I have one. It's actually not a bad thing, but it does pick up a shitload of noise. But I'm able to actually take this microphone and push it back 2 feet now, and it doesn't have to be in my way.
Right.
This is really good. If you are going to get this microphone, make sure that, and you want it far away and you don't have room to have an arm to kind of place it right on front of you, a cloud lifter is a must in my opinion. But with that being said, now you're looking at $600 just for the microphone and the cloud lift. Do you need this? No, I don't think you need this. You and I both know, Dion, that you don't need a microphone like this.
Nope.
We can both get literally $150, $200 less. We know that there's a bundle that you can get for this.
Right.
You have the Shure the M7B USB mic, which I heard great things about it, but you're still paying $250. But you're getting a USB microphone, so you don't need all these crazy cords from your XLR to the interface to the computer. So if you don't care about an audio interface, a USB microphone made by Shure, I heard a lot of great things about this.
And I'm looking right now, if you scroll up a little bit, so you're looking at actually $39 more for the bundle than you would if you just bought them separately.
Yeah. Dude, and then you have a Rode
$150
NT1.
It's $150 for the cloud thing on the bottom, and then $400 for the mic.
$400 for the SM7B.
So you're looking at $450 for the. Oh no, you're looking at $550.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but you still need an audio interface now too, because you're running an XLR setup.
I know, but you're looking at $550 versus $589.
So you're saving some money there.
You're saving some money if you buy them separately. So keep that in mind with Amazon and on a lot of these places that do like bundles and stuff like that. Look up everything separately.
Right.
Because you might save yourself $30-$40.
Find some deals. It looks like it looks like we got Stingray. We got 4-ticket Stingray right on. Welcome into the raffle. Also don't shy away from brands like Rode NT1. Rode has great microphones for the price that they have. Like I got the Rode NTG, which is a shotgun microphone, and I think I might eventually transition into a shotgun microphone for streaming. But $249, again, you got the Mano dynamic microphone, USB and XLR. I like the fact that it's both USB and XLR. So if you want to run it right to your computer and you don't, it's very, very slimline, and you can have a little stand for it, and it's a dynamic microphone, so it can handle some damage. You know what I mean?
Right.
It can handle some Call of Duty rage. I think all Call of Duty players or shooter players that rage and needs a fucking dynamic microphone, please look into a fucking dynamic microphone. Huh? Okay, I think yours is more like frustration. I think rage handles like
I'm
decibel levels.
Like the rage queen.
Yeah, you don't rage, and so this is just more towards an XLR setup. Now there's a lot you would have to get, and it does cost a lot of money, and it took me a long time to kind of get this set up. But since I did audio work, so you know, our rap group back in the day, we had a full setup, studio setup. We had all those things. A lot of that was handed down to me. It wasn't handed, but it was given to me going, hey, we don't use it. You're getting into streaming. They supported. And surprisingly, with this audio interface right now for this SM7B, I'm running it into a Go XLR. I don't have a cloud lift. Before then, I always had to use a cloud lift because it's just so freaking low, because it's made for loud people to project their voice on. Right. But with the Go XLR, which is a good chunk of money, for some reason, I don't need a cloud lifter. It has a 48 phantom power. I don't know if it has its own amplified inside, but I have a cloud lift just sitting in the back, just because when I put the cloud lifter on this, holy dude, it's too much. It's literally too much. Like you can hear me scratching my feet.
Ew, gross.
Gross. Yeah. So I'd say, like the Go XLR is a great piece for streaming. I don't think it's necessary for podcasting, but yeah, and it's very straightforward once you start getting to know the two types of microphones. But also what's very important is when you get the microphone, make sure that the polar pattern works for you. I like the polar pattern, which is corduroy, which means it picks up stuff on front of the microphone and not really in the back. I like that type of, because obviously there's a lot of stuff that goes around
the sides.
Yeah, like
It's like a heart.
yeah, like, and that's, you can have a sideways microphone that has a corduroy pattern, however you pronounce that. Same thing with this type of microphone. So
Yeah.
it's
This is a condenser, but it's in a. This one actually has different patterns. I can switch them.
You can switch them. Yep, this one does
So I
not.
have
Which
stereo, omnidirectional.
that's pretty cool to have
cardioid,
that.
and super cardioid, I think.
So that has a lot more ability. And here's the thing too, guys, that money isn't always everything, because his microphone's 150 has way more ability. This is fairly, I don't want to say one dimensional, but it's not multi-dimensional. I only have one polar pattern. I can only go, obviously with the cloud lifter, I can definitely move away, but I really don't have many options on placement of how I can place my microphone, right? So I'm pretty limited, which is one of the reasons.
RGB.
And you get RGB, and I love RGB. I'll be honest with you.
RGB the world.
RGB's life. So with that, 130, you get a bundle, because we were looking at bundles. So 130, 140, 150, up to 250. You can find some very good microphones, but please do not shy away from a good microphone. Do your research, and to me it's subjective, right? For me it's an opinion based on my experiences. I think but then you get let's see here, Sony, let's do Sennheiser. I think, damn, do I know how to, there, Sennheiser microphones. So now you're getting into Sennheiser microphones. You're getting into, so it has a professional pro USB corduroy condenser microphone, table stand, $129. Sennheiser is an amazing fucking microphone company, and they come out headphone. My studio headsets are Sennheisers. So let's take a look here, and right now it's looking like right here you got a little podcast or Sennheiser microphone, tripod microphone stand, 20-inch XLR. This is an XLR microphone, $149. Now this, you got a wireless microphone right here, 578. I don't think you need a wireless.
That was an instrument microphone.
And those, yeah, and be careful with the type of microphones, and make sure you do not get an instrument microphone, because I have one inside my drawer. There are microphones that are specifically made to handle instruments, so just be very careful. Let's see here. I like my Avermedia mic, very crisp. There you go. Avermedia. I've heard about them. So right here you see Sennheiser shotgun microphones. Now, if you're gonna pick up a shotgun microphone,
oh god,
okay, I love shotgun microphones. I'm gonna be talking about that. That is an unspoken audio hero of streamers, and streamers don't really use it. But look at the pricing, and this one's a 3.5 millimeter jack, and it's for a camera, but you can actually plug it into an audio interface if it has a 3.5 millimeter jack. I love shotgun mics, but Sennheiser, Rode, Sony, and Behringer. I know Philips makes some, but this is where you get into some really top-notch stuff when it comes to that. Like, there's shotgun mics that are $5,000, but again, that's not uncommon for very high-quality professional microphones.
What is it, Samson?
You know what? I gotta actually do Samson. But yeah, these are good brands, and look, they make $129. USB microphone, USB-C, mute button, built-in headphone jack, so you can hear yourself. $129. And I think right now this is, like, I guess for streamers, a lot of them, would be thinking outside of the box. A lot of streamers I talk to, I go, hey, do you know who Sennheiser is? They're like, who? And I'm like, oh, you don't know, or, you know.
No.
So, or at least those people, Sennheisers. Now, when it comes to those type of microphones, now there's like the Quadcast and there's Elgato, because it's within the streaming world. A lot of people are like, oh, these microphones. But remember that there is a lot of companies that has been in the industry and might be dabbling into this type of industry. And I would rather go with those proven, what do you said, tried and proven, right?
Tried and true, yeah.
Yeah,
proven.
tried it. Sennheiser is that one. Shure's definitely tried. Sony, I've seen some pretty good shotgun mics. I don't know about all those other mics, but so yeah.
I don't know nothing about shotgun mics. So
But
that's
I'm trying to
all you-
stick more on the XLR side, but XLR is expensive. It is going to be
Yes.
expensive.
Yes.
Just bottom line, but I do believe for me audio wise, because I like it connecting to hardware. If I was not biased, I think it's a very biased point for me, and it's obvious I am very, very biased to XLR, and I'm more willing to think about USB mics because I see the performance, but I am definitely biased to the XLR because of the amount of stuff you can connect it to and amount of hardware you can do. But newer technologies, you can plug in USBs, but if you see a lot of these interfaces, you're either running an XLR jack. I see a 3.5 millimeter jack. But a lot of it's plugins, with the jack XLR. See a lot of these. So if you want to go interfaces, now Elgato has the Stream Deck that can kind of do some relative things, to do relative things like these interfaces. Like you can control your sources, which is pretty cool by a knob. And that's super awesome. I think it was like $199, right? So, and so you still got some technology rolling out there, but this to me is, these setups are just the classic setups that you need. All right, so let's see how long we have. We have 7 minutes, y'all. Make sure you get your raffle points. Dion, please take it over with USB microphones.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So XLRs,
no,
expensive,
yeah.
great. I'm biased. I love them. Get them.
Yes,
If not,
he is-
USB.
he is
USB.
very biased.
Yeah, if you want to settle for USB, it's not a bad option. It's
If you
probably
wanna
more cost.
settle.
Yeah, if you want a more cost-effective way and don't care about audio interfaces, USB. There is a lot of great options. I love the XLR.
I just DM'd you
A link.
A link.
All
I
right,
want
so
you to pull this up first.
all right, we're gonna go ahead and pull this up
I'm
first.
gonna tell you a little story.
He's gonna trash my XLR biasness.
Tell ye a little story.
He's gonna trash my XLR. There you go.
Mono.
$49.
$49. Show him what it comes with. Show
All
him
right,
everything
so-
it comes with.
All right, what it comes with, it
looks.
looks like
Go back to the big top picture. Top picture. There
it's
you
at
go.
all right.
That's everything it comes with. Right there.
And the quality's good
Quality's great.
if you know how to do the settings. So you got to buy this and become YouTube certified in audio.
No.
So if you don't,
yeah. Not
okay, all right.
So-
but,
really. And this story time.
okay, story time.
I own this mic. I
Gotcha.
own this entire setup. I can go rip it off my little sister's desk right now.
And you're
Yank it
happy
off.
with that?
Yeah, because she sounds great. In her
And you-
stream,
you
she
set
sounds
it up
great.
for her?
She sounds absolutely great. No, she actually set it up herself.
Like the settings, the equalizing. Okay.
Yeah. So I bought this mic. This was my first off headset mic. My original mic was this crappy HyperX Stinger Flight, whatever the hell it is, microphone. That was my original mic when I first started streaming. This was my first purchase when towards becoming a better streamer.
Right.
I had help with it. My little sister, she, these younger kids, they know how to do everything already. They're born knowing. So
Right.
she figured it out. But I had help with it, obviously. It's a USB mic, obviously. But the things you can do within OBS and the plugins people are making right now are insane. They're you can do so much. So I didn't have, like I said, I had to do 3 different plugins.
Right.
So now before I got my 3090, I had to do 3 different plugins. I needed compression, I needed a gate, and then whatever noise suppression OBS had at the time.
Right.
That was it. And I made that $50 microphone sound very close to the audio I have now.
Right.
And it maybe wasn't as crystal clear as this is, but it was
For
very,
50
very
bucks,
close.
for 50 bucks,
to
you were
get
there.
started, to not know if I'm even going to continue to do this.
Right.
But to get started in this whole situation, $50 in a little bit of time, just having someone with you in a test stream,
Right.
saying, hey, you kind of need to turn yourself down, putting yourself in different situations, yelling, screaming,
Right.
talking from across the room, all these things, they matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when someone comes into my room while I'm in my stream, they can sit at my door and talk to me, and you can't hear them.
Right. I think that is an important note too, that please don't mistaken my bias saying that you're going to sound amazing if you get an XLR microphone.
If you don't know how to do
if you do not know audio, if you do not know how to do settings, and I think I will probably have to stand corrected that maybe sub $100 microphones for what you're doing, like streaming, where it's just picking up just basic talking. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I do a lot more, I'm thinking a lot more of audio quality of recording. And that's the way I was raised, because I was doing music since I was a teenager. So yes, I think that's where a lot of my strictness comes from. It's like when I listen to people's audio, I listen to people's audio in regards to the experience of recording and mastered professionally. And these microphones can do the job. You may not sound like, let's just say, you may not sound like absolute professional sound quality, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of people only sound that good because the studio tech ran a lot of software post-production, and there's a lot of software running live production. Like right now I have sound suppression. I do have some manual gates going on. If I let you hear me raw, my voice will still sound the same, but you'll hear everything, right? So I just want to put it out there that at $50,
you're doing the same thing. We're just doing it software. You're doing it hardware.
I'm doing it more based on the hardware that's not in the computer.
Is that the software can't do it as good as the hardware?
Yes, but doesn't mean it's not good enough to where it sounds good. I wouldn't record a song with it. Yeah, I wouldn't record a song with that. But I'll be honest with you, that means nothing when it comes to streaming and podcasting. Like, you don't have to have the perfect soundproofed room with the most perfect fucking audio, but it's
I have a giant piece of glass right here.
Yeah, and the fact that there's no bounce off. Stop the USB hate. I don't hate USB. Right? I don't hate. Okay, so let's make this clear. Let's make this clear. I don't hate USB microphones. I just don't
use them because he's better than us.
No, that's not I'm just saying I don't like computer-based software that's altering the audio to the mic without a hardware connected to it. That's just me. It's just me.
It's doing it right now.
For you, it's yes, but
for you, we're talking on Discord. Your Discord is changing your audio.
Yeah, that's an autumn. I would like to turn them off,
but it's software. You can.
Yeah. Now, okay, here. Let me rephrase this. Compression, noise gates.
Because I can hear you twice right now.
Yeah.
You sound different in my head on Discord than you do on your stream.
On the stream. So here's the thing.
I do too. But I do too.
So noise suppression.
I let Discord do what it does because Discord's fairly decent.
It is noise suppression. So check this out. Noise suppression. Noise gates, to me, that's not the software I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're trying to run a 10 band or 15 band or 30 band equalizer. That's what I'm talking about. So let me clarify that I am absolutely a fan of any software that can run compression, that can run noise suppression, that can control your noise gate. Any software can do that, because even Studio Techs run a software that does that, right? But when it comes to equalizing your audio, I just like softwares that is connected to a hardware.
Makes sense.
So yeah, let's do that. And I'm not a USB hater. Just 20 years ago, USB was not what it is now. And I can only base it off the experience I had 20 years ago.
Yeah. We come to the future, Junior.
Yes. Also, I think for the fact that I already paid for this microphone, and I'm not a big fan of paying for a cheaper microphone, it being just as amazing, and now I have an expensive microphone sitting in my drawer.
It's a paperweight.
Yes, I use it as a paperweight. Exactly. Like, I don't know. So I guess not yet.
Not yet. No. Okay.
But I
Well,
will say, everyone that has been using a USB microphone that does no audio, they do sound great. They do sound good. Like, the latency has always been my big issue with USB microphones, and so far when I see people's video, I don't see much latency, which means that USB connection versus video came a long way.
Mine is
Very long way.
There's no usual. I don't have to do any kind of fuckery with my OBS settings to make sure my voice is gonna, link up and sync up. And
All right, yo.
And then you go to this mic real quick.
Right.
$150.
That has a lot for $150 though. It has a lot of stuff to it.
Tap to mute. Headset or headphone jack in the back.
Right.
For monitoring. Like I said, I have 4 different polar patterns I can switch between. It's a full 360-degree microphone, so I can do stereo if I want to. I can lick people's eardrums, do all that weird shit. And but it's a good mic. It's a USB mic, and like I said, I didn't have to do as much to it.
So cheaper microphones, a lot more knowledge, harder work. We're gonna admit that. A lot of time, but you can get it there. Yeah.
Better stuff that you can actually control. Better software. Elgato has their Wave, and they have software for it. This one has software. I do not use the software for this microphone.
Right.
What I did is I took the bass of the raw and just I only run a gate during my stream. I only run a gate and noise.
That's actually pretty good that you only have to run a gate.
I only run NVIDIA noise suppression.
NVIDIA broadcast. You put me on it.
I know, but I hate it.
NVIDIA. I noticed that
you don't need it. You don't need it anymore. That's the problem with it.
Because of OBS has that plugin.
OBS and Streamlabs have.
And Streamlabs has the plugins. Yes. So there you go. The one thing I do love to use NVIDIA broadcast for, which is not part of the podcast, is videos or webcam stuff. So that's another one. So guys, just if you're okay, so here let's talk about it. Either invest the money so that way you can set it up easier, or save your money, but you're gonna have to spend a lot more time learning it. I'll be honest with you, I'm a fan of the first one.
It's the same thing as XLR versus it comes down to, if you're going to spend the money and buy something that's made better, it's going to work better right off the bat.
Correct. But you still need to set it, because you're still going to have to set it. So I don't think you should. I think that there's budgetary options, but obviously, D, you and I know that there is a minimum you need to spend based on quality, because you will get what you paid for ultimately if you get too cheap. And I'm not saying you're cheap, but like, say in respect to the pricing, that a $49 microphone, to me, that I've never seen a $49 microphone sound as good as, and it's just from my experience. Maybe I don't know it, right? Because there's probably a lot of streamers that have that, right? But I've just physically never seen a microphone sub $100 that actually sound good to me, my ears.
You have, and we'll talk about it later.
So, and that's the thing, I may have heard it. So, and if that $50 now, again, I will have to hear it, and if I hear it, I will we need you to try every single mic on the market to test them ASAP. Let's go. So that's actually going to be running on my YouTube, the next YouTube video.
Mics, and you can play all the XLR ones.
Yep. I just saw some USB mics that I am going to purchase. They're fairly cheap. Yeah. And then I do have some 3.5 millimeter jack shotgun mics. I have a karaoke microphone. And that's one thing I definitely want to do is compare these budgetary microphones to a less budgetary microphone. And I still think, in respect, the Shure SM7B is budgetary in comparison to microphones that are $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And that's in respect to the microphone world, the spectrum of the microphone world. But if you take a look, technology nowadays has gone so far that I may have been just that out of touch with microphones.
It was
So
$3.99 for the Shure.
$399 for the Shure. And that and I think for me it's something that because I love video and I love audio, and that's going to be the next one I'm going to be working on the YouTube, on our TBT Media YouTube page, is comparing pricier stuff and comparing it to more budgetary, or I guess you could say less expensive. We're going to run raw sound, and then we're going to run with some audio tunings and settings. So
you know what you need to run right now?
What do I need to run?
Run it.
Huh?
The giveaway. It's over.
Yes, the giveaway. So everybody, we are in the giveaway. We have 4 people here. And if you didn't get a chance to put into the raffle, we are going to run a raffle every Saturday, $10 to $20, depending on how we do. We have Invalid Hetero, we have Badger, we have Pseudo Fiction, we have Stingray, and we have 92. Now, Dion, do you want to do a 5-minute last chance entry for people that just rolled in? Because I can manually resume the entries and cancel them. I got a 5-minute timer right here.
It's your giveaway, man.
All right, so everybody, Twizzle Sticks, what's up? Everybody, thank you so much for coming. We're going to go ahead and resume the giveaway for 5 more minutes. So for those who were not available to do the ticket buying, it is going to be command raffle space the amount of tickets you want. So, which sure, we were talking about the SM7B, and then we were talking about the XM7. When we were talking about the Shure microphones, there's a bunch of them, but those are the ones that are more predominant that I'm seeing being used. So I raffled 20 tickets. Do you even have enough? I think he does. All right, so we got Tech Tink that just rolled in at 10 tickets. Let's go.
I have to step away for just a second.
Hey, you got it. Let's see here. Crazy Legs, you might not have enough for 20 tickets. Check command points to make sure that you have enough for 20 tickets, because that would be 1,000 points. Yo, you received 20 tickets. Damn. All right, so Invalid got a total of 20 tickets. Badger has 10. Crazy Legs with 5. There you go. Yep, SM7B is $399 roughly. Now, I use the SM7B, and there is a lot of limitations with some of the things I want to do. So, you know, and that's one of the things that we have to consider when we're getting microphones, is knowing the capabilities and the prime uses for them. Yo, Crazy, man, we love you too, bro. Little Demon has 430 F9 coins. Let's go. So that's one of the things right here. So let's see here. Demon, we got 3 more minutes, y'all. The tickets are 50 points per. So if you have more than 50 points, you can get tickets. Now ask Demon that I do run some pretty solid giveaways every now and again. So if you want to save your points, Demon's like, Francis is like, I'm saving, bro. All right, so we got Tech Tink new to the raffle, and we got Crazy Legs. If anybody else wants to do it, that'd be awesome. Let me go ahead and change the scene real quick to our podcast because we got a few more minutes. Yo, Badger got 13 tickets total. Let's go. So yeah, and I think the one thing too that we can talk about while we're doing the raffle, because we have 2 more minutes, is headset microphones. I'm going to step away from this. I don't think anyone should go cheap. If you want a good microphone, don't go cheap.
So I'm gonna attest to that. So
yeah, you go ahead, do that. I'm not a big fan of it.
HyperX cheap slightly cheap headset.
It's $99 though,
microphone.
right? That HyperX was $99.
Yeah, I think so.
See, okay, that's not, to me, that's not cheap.
Well, but it's more so for the headset than the microphone. The microphone's garbage.
Okay, so with the good mic, okay, so a good
That took
microphone though, you need a
that
good
took
headset.
A lot of plugins to make it sound halfway decent.
Twizzle, the Wave 3 is a good microphone.
Yes,
It is a good microphone.
It's a good one.
Or yeah, Wave 3 is a good.
So, and then I have the H70 Pros by Corsair. Better microphone, but still not the best. It's still garbage.
How much did that cost? Like cost come in at?
I think those were like $129 when
We're not crazy, Twizzle. I'm just kind of biased to XLR.
So
That's all.
The headset I have now,
Right,
the
right.
microphone on this headset, right out of the box, no tuning, crisp.
How much did that cost
Very
though?
crisp.
How much did that cost?
This is a $250
Okay,
headset.
so you're getting out of the cheap range.
No, this is not cheap. Not cheap
Yeah.
whatsoever. This is in game. This is probably one of the
45
last
seconds,
headsets I'll
y'all.
ever
Let's
buy.
go. Rode mic matched with an Elgato XLR is comparable to SM7B. I'll be honest with you, I like the Rode mic. The pod mic, I have the NTG Rode mic or the NTG Videocast, and I am impressed by Rode. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna
Disagree?
I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not when I'm not gonna disagree. I don't think the SM7B is the holy shit Grella microphones. I love it. I love the sound from my voice. So I don't think it's the holy shit Grella microphones at all. So anyway, sorry, Demon. 5 seconds. Then the giveaways. The giveaway's
Oh,
done.
yeah, no, like it all comes down to. But this is a wired headset too.
Jesus Christ, who the hell was that?
I think that was the end of your 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh that that was my stream
No, this
deck
is-
timer going.
Oh, jeebs.
Like, what the fuck
This is
was
a yeah. No, this is a good wired headset. So you're gonna get better. You're gonna get better sound. You're gonna get better pushback than going through a wireless
Right.
dongle or whatever it is that
Right.
they usually make with them now. So I am hardwired in basically.
Chaos? Thanks for the follow, bud.
So it's
Absolutely.
it does work a lot better. It sounds a lot better. So my microphone obviously is going to sound better too, because even though it's 3.5 and you don't like that, it's still going to run better than
What's your Twizzle
wireless
Sticks
dongle.
comment?
wait,
About
how
the
dare
Steel
you
Series.
use your mic to shit on shitters though.
No, not that. No, it's
Oh.
I wonder how good the
wonder how
Steel
good the
Series
Steel
mics.
No,
Uh,
they are. This one is great. So I have the Arctis Nova Pros.
You can read both though.
I can read both. So I have the Arctis Nova Pros, and like I was saying, since this is the wired version of the Arctis Nova Pros, I hear the wireless ones are still great, but the quality of the sound you're gonna get in your ears and the quality of the sound you're gonna get out of your microphone, if it's hardwired in like that,
Right.
it's going through an audio dock, and then we have its own software to back it up behind it. So they're great.
Yeah.
They're absolutely great. I jumped on it on the first time, and I jumped in Discord, and everybody went, "Ooh,
Sexy. No, it does sound
Like,
nice.
yeah,
And
so they
Dion
do
and I were
sound good.
talking
I
last
don't
night
use it
about
very
this.
often, but I do use it.
Steel Series is an amazing. I would get those if I didn't have the A50s. This has a great mic setup. It also has a software just like the Steel. So if you want good headsets with good sound quality and you want to just resort to a headset microphone, I recommend either a Steel Series or the Astro A50s if you want to use it. This is my opinion, and again, I think for $350 you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get good headset quality, you can hear the sound, beautiful sound, and good mic quality where you don't have to worry about a microphone. So you're getting everything kind of encompassing, and it sounds good.
Right.
It sounds good, surprisingly better than some of the microphones out there. But I do like the separate mic, and so I agree with you, Chaos. So we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna run the let's do it. So all right, y'all. Thank you so much. This giveaway is a big thank you for everybody. I want to thank 92 and all of the other subs this past week, because they were able to push from a $10 giveaway to a $20 giveaway, because the $20 does depend on how the week goes with income on Twitch. And since it's so amazing, it varies. So I want to thank everyone. Let's get some music going. I want to thank everybody, and we are gonna go ahead and pick the winner. And the reason why I'm like showing this, so that way people think that I'm not like just picking somebody. So it's gonna random pick. Let's go.
Let's go.
Entries are now closed. It's between Invalid, Badger, Pseudo Fiction, Stingray, 92, Tech Tink, Crazy Legs, and the Zoolish. Dion, who do you think might get this? Because we got Invalid with 20 tickets.
I think Fiction's gonna get it with 3.
Okay, Fiction's gonna get it with 3.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go by standard, probably just ratio. I'm gonna go with Invalid's probably gonna get it, but it's because she has 20 tickets.
Cheater.
I like my odds. Hey, let's go. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and by the way, this is going to be an e-gift card from Amazon, and all I'm going to need is your email and an email that you're going to use, because when I go on Amazon and I buy it, they're going to ask me for an interview, and we're going to go picking faves. But you got 20 tickets. I'm going with the odds here. All right, y'all, let's go. Tech Tink. Tech. We're both wrong. Tech is like, yeah. All right, congratulations, Tech. How you doing, bro? Thank you so much for the support. I do see you lurking in the streams, man. Yes. So thank you, everybody. We are now gonna raid out eventually, but we haven't opened the ground for questions. So does anyone have any questions in the, what does he call that? The barrage of information
that was just given.
It was just given, and like the information glute. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? And congrats for the $20. Tech, I'm gonna need your email. Please go ahead and DM that to me, either whisper to me on Twitch or just DM me on Discord, and I'll make sure to get that over to you today. So if there is no questions, we'll just wait a little bit to see if anyone has any questions or see if they have any opinions, and that's very important to me because voices do need to be heard. And opinions, you guys, yeah, a lot of you guys have a lot of experience with this, so if we needed to be corrected or maybe some added information that would be interesting to us, we'd love to hear it. But next episode, we wanted to go through life balance with streaming and how that affects the outside and inside of life. I was talking to Dion and I kind of threw that out there, and he was like, whoa, that wasn't on the schedule. And I think he had right premise on it, because look, we're already 3 hours in. It's supposed to be an hour and a half, 2-hour podcast. Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. But yeah, like in general, I think the next topic we do want to talk about is, all this equipment stuff, all of this stuff is fun, but real life, a lot of this stuff, like real life does happen, and trying to create a balance is very important. I just actually realized that one of the questions, are you guys newer on podcasts on Spotify? We are new to the podcast, but we are not on Spotify yet. There is going to be a podcast on Spotify, and this is the 3rd episode, so we are new to podcasting. So yes, that is definitely. This one will
go up on YouTube too.
This one, I am working on getting episode 2 and episode 3. This is episode 3 on YouTube. It's taking a lot longer than expected, trying to edit these videos and then also produce videos for 3 other channels. So I might have to recruit help. Again, Dion's always talking about biting off more than I can chew.
He likes to do that. He loves having his mouth full.
I mean, if it tastes good. If it doesn't taste bad, it's okay. You got a big mouth.
A whole lot in there.
All right, twizzle sticks. Okay, so before we head out and raid, there is an important announcement that I have been excited to talk about. So we talked about earlier me being up until 2 in the morning. That is because I've been working hard on trying to start a laser engraving, custom laser engraving and cutting business, and we finally got the equipment in, and we finally turned it on. And after many burnt pieces and my garage smelling like a campfire, we are now let's see if we could do it. We are now laser etching, and TBT is now into this market. So if any of you guys, we are currently still experimenting and learning the equipment. However, if you guys want us to test some of your designs, come on, there you go. If you guys want to test some of your designs, you can send them to me and I can run some tests, because that is kind of what we're doing. So these are just samples. These are just samples of what we're able to do. And this one was pretty difficult because it's so small. And we're understanding that the difference of wood, the difference of heat and time and laser, but this is by far these are the best qualities we've gotten, and they're pretty dope. So this is going to be offered out as we start getting up in business. We will start offering products like keychains, cups, glasses. We can actually do glass demon. We found that out, that we can actually do glass. So
Very nice. Very nice.
we're going to see the capacity, because it's in an enclosed unit. It's not open. So yeah, this is what we got. The Boonie Tribe and the laser. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. The laser engraving company is going to definitely be able to offer services that streamers want to give to their viewers, but instead of shirts and t-shirts, I want to be able to provide a little bit more of a unique style service, where if you guys want something, let me know. But if you want me to test out your designs and put it on things, and if they turn out good, if you want to pay for shipping, I send you those designs, and you can do whatever you want with it. It'll help us learn the system. It'll help us learn how to actually render the image correctly based on what the laser's trying to do. I should send you the failed piece, or I should show you the failed pieces.
Really bad.
It was really bad. We thought we get a setting good, and then we changed the material, and it just we almost set it on fire. We almost set one of the pieces of wood on fire because we were running it too hot. So, but we were there the whole time, and we were able to stop it before it actually caught on fire. So,
Well, that's good.
yes,
That's always good.
yes, yeah. Let's go. All right, y'all. So, does anyone have a suggestion on who we need to or who we can raid? If anyone wants to send me a DM or put it in chat, let's see here. At least there's wood everywhere around you, not like you're gonna run out. Yeah, I that is true. I'm just gonna go run out and cut wood, but we are gonna be able to do ceramic, stainless steel, aluminum, or not aluminum, sorry, sterling silver, wood, leather. We're gonna get into stickers too, so we're gonna be able to print and cut out stickers. We're gonna be able to do all that stuff, but it is just, we're slowly getting at it right now. So if anyone has, let's see, let me open up my Discord, because either that or I'm gonna start searching myself.
You probably should.
All right, so let me.
I don't see anybody from the tribe streaming right now.
Yeah, nobody in the actual our Discord. So let's see. You guys want to do a low count streamer, just a random low count streamer with like 0 to 1. Oh yeah, and if you guys, if you guys are not part of the Discord, join the Discord amongst the million that you've already probably joined. But no worries on that if you feel so inclined to do so. I'm trying to find someone who is, oh geez, we're trying to work it out. If anyone, while we're searching, if anyone has a recommendation, you have a buddy that's streaming and you want us to go and support, we can do that. Let's see here. Yeah, like okay, let's push a low count streamer. All right. Ooh, there's someone playing Forza Horizon Forbidden. Let me make sure this person's not on break because I'm in the ad right now. Hey, this person has 2 viewers and they're playing Horizon Forbidden West. Oh, that's not the race game. That's the fucking yeah, that game. I like that game.
That game right there.
I love that first Horizon. Is it Horizon Dawn? I think it's called Horizon Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that game. Make sure you speak English too. Oh yeah, make sure they speak English too. Yeah, the last one, she was speaking French. So hold on.
Oh, did you raid someone that only speaks French?
Yeah, it was last weekend.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah. Now I know 2 turns. I know he. Let's go 2 turn 72. He is playing. That's actually a really nice game. I like that game. All right, so let's go and all right, y'all, let me go set up. Let's I can't understand French. Yep, Horizon Zero Dawn, there you go.
We the ones that they admire. All of these niggas expire. Ice of the boss and we hire. Raising the hood where it's ours. They hopping on ship like a pirate.
Hey, driving the boat and I came for the loot and the tragedy. Niggas be hating, do better. Dropping them ashes, then burn me a hole in my sweater. I'm stingy, I'm holding this cheddar.
Holding this cheese, living more better. Smoking these doobies with Xavier. We keep this shit gravy. Yeah, we too groovy. We keep it unruly. Know it's yours truly. Smoke.
All right, y'all.
Bad chick,
Thank you so much for joining the podcast. We appreciate all of you. Congratulations to the winner of the giveaway, Tech Tink. Everyone who supports the channel by viewing, chatting, subbing, all that stuff, giving bits and all that cool stuff, having people come by, check us out. I really appreciate you. I'll see you on Tuesday for the regular game streams, but we are back on for episode 4 next Saturday on the podcast. So let's go. Let's see how many people we're rating out with today.
2 turns.
7, 8, 10. Oh, we got 10 viewers so far. Nice. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's get it. Have a great one, y'all. Have a great weekend. See you later.